Well, hello, my darlings. Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. I am happy that we are back together again. I'm happy that we are back together again. I'm happy to be here with you all. Thank you for spending time with me today. Yes. Happy to see you all. Let me see who's here. Give some quick shout outs before we resume, the spiritual drill session. Naturally, Niata. Hello, happy Tuesday, Boo. Kev, Zen Soul. Zen Soul says, good evening, Q and chat, listening while working. Yes, happy Mars Day from Britiani. Sunray Physique says, hey, happy Tuesday. How y'all feeling? I'm feeling good. You know what I just had? I just had one of those, they're called the sumo orange. It's the sumo orange season. They're these big fat oranges, and the outside peel has like this nipple or like lump at the top. They're very easy to peel. They are so sweet and juicy. I just had one of those sumo oranges and it made my day. It was so good. So good. And now I have my cup of tea. I have a cup of chai tea, okay, with some collagen powder in there. Make sure, I don't end up looking like a 70-year-old handbag before my time. So yeah, I'm feeling good. That orange was so good. It was so good. Make sure y'all get y'all some of those oranges. Joanna, Tim Lee, Donna, Journey with Korean. Hey, boo. Mons 820 says, I'm ready for part two. Starry eyed out here with the tacos. Now, I'm not having tacos tonight, but I am having shrimp tostadas. Okay. I'm not having tacos tonight, but the shrimp tostadas are going to go down. I'm going to cut up some onions and some bell peppers. Okay. I have some green salsa. It's going to be on and popping tonight. On and popping. Adele, it's one cat. Cafe Olay. Journey with Korean is telling y'all what to do. And you better listen to my boo. Go ahead and like the video for me. I would appreciate that because we're going to get into it. Sherry Pittman, Laurie, Venice Brown. Hey, darling. 8. Kevin says that 70-year-old handbag joke will never stop being funny. Listen, I've seen people, I'm 41. I have seen people my age and younger out here looking like California raisins. I refuse. Okay. So I drink plenty of water. I get my sleep. I exercise. I eat halfway decent. And I have my collagen powder. I do my skin routine. You wash your face. I have my serums. Heck, I even put the serums on my hands like once or twice a week so that my hands stay looking good too. Because the thin skin on your hands will have you out here looking like Skeletor. Okay. So, everyone, please make sure you are taking care of yourselves, that you put your health first. Okay. Put the health first. Take care of yourselves. Okay. So, you won't be out here looking like a 70-year-old handbag and you're only 35. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you. Okay. I don't want that for you. So, I refuse. I refuse. I refuse to be out here, mm-mm. I refuse. I'm going to enhance the good skin gene that God gave me through my parents. All right? All right. We're going some snaps in the circle. I'm going to embrace the good skin gene, like I said, that God gave me through my parents. So, Donna says, Q, you ain't started none without that banner advertisement. You know what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right. The banner is here. Thank you for reminding me. Hey, girl, Elite Bell Zoe. Mm-hmm. K Jones, listen, I refuse. I refuse. Do not underestimate what water can do for your skin, baby. The waters of Lake Minnetonka, whatever it is, get you some good, fresh, filtered water and drink your water. Okay, um I go for 72 ounces a day. So I drink over 2 liters of water a day. That's just me. Some people can make it to a gallon. I can't do that, because me and my bladder, I'm gonna be on the toilet. So I drink my 72 ounces of water a day. Okay, keep yourself hydrated and It's good for your skin. It's good for your body. It's good for your organs. It's good for your, digestive system, flushing everything out. You ain't gonna have all them bags and stuff like that. Good for your nails and your hair. Hydrate. Hydrate, people. Okay? Hydrate. So we're taking care of ourselves out here. Yeah, at least Q takes care of herself. Q takes care of herself. So, but anywho, let's go and get back into Sloan Bella, because she was out here speaking her mind. She was speaking her mind. And as she was speaking her mind, it just ended up being a whole drill, right? And she was telling the truth. She was telling the truth. Now, see, okay, let me call. I gotta gather StreamYard, because StreamYard out here, y'all know what time it is. But let me gather StreamYard. Okay. Now we got StreamYard. Okay, so now we have StreamYard. I think this layout is cool. Y'all don't need to see too much of me. Y'all don't need to see too much of me. We just need to hear this drill. We just need to hear this drill. Okay. So, you know what? No, this is cool. This is cool. We just need to hear this drill. Yeah, let's do this one. Let's do this one. We just need to hear this drill. So we are picking up where we left off yesterday. We were at like 57 minutes. So I'm just going to rewind just a little bit so we can get into this. And because, baby, the parts that I heard and from what we heard yesterday, she was out here drilling. She was out here drilling. Hey, Dashery. Yeah, Sloan came for everybody's edges, everybody's nose hairs. Okay. Sloan was out here dragging people by the hairs on their toes. Sloan was out here dragging people by the hairs on their toes. She was dragging people by the hairs in their ears. She was dragging people, okay, by their eyelashes. And I'm here for it, because right is right and wrong is wrong. Okay. So let's continue to get on into it. Let's continue to get on into it. All right. Okay. Andy, she ate. She ate.
You have idiots on TikTok nuts with this, okay? But John Welsh, is it John Welsh? John Welsh, however you say his name, it is. Okay. But he got a TV show after that. Then what is this here? But you have, I'm for your choice, vagina on their head, for the right to murder fetus. Okay. Called grooming. This is a sexual abuse of our children. They are indoctrinating us with pedophilia. You have idiots on TikTok saying pedophilia is determined in the womb and they can't help themselves. Yes, you can. Nobody's interviewing a fetus, okay? Because remember, we're all for abortion in this country. Planned Parenthood, rah, 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 women's right to abort, Pussy Hat March. George Soros had women in this country to the tune of 1 million wearing a vagina on their head for the right to murder fetuses in utero. Do what you want. I don't care. I'm for your choice. But if a fetus doesn't have the right in a full-term pregnancy, right? Okay, just saying, if that fetus doesn't have a right, then what is this mixed communication? I don't get it. You don't have a right over here, but you have a right over here. I don't understand. Fetus in a jar. Thank you for bringing that up. Fetus in a jar. Barbara Bush, fetus in a jar, Larry King Live. That should tell you everything you need to know. So they want you to have the right to abort your baby, but they don't want you. So you can abort your baby. It's just fetal tissue. Pardon me. It's just fetal tissue according to Planned Parenthood and whoever else. It's no big deal. It is a big deal. If you've done it and you get to your later in life and you realize what you did, especially if you couldn't have children or you had a child die, then you understand the repercussions of what you didn't understand when you were 14, 15, and 16. True story. Okay, so you will recognize what happens and it will cause you to rethink your thinking. But still, as a person, I'm for your right to do what you want. You will have to reconcile it when you cross over with your people. But why, if it's just fetal tissue over here, is somebody analyzing the fetal tissue to find out if it's a predilection is towards pedophilia. Do you see what they do? Oh, the babies, it's been proven in utero that they're born pedophiles. I'm sorry.
Wait, who is out here saying that? I've never heard that before. Who is out here saying that babies are the pedophiles in utero? Who out here saying that? Who is out here saying that? Who is out here saying that? I've never heard that. That's wild. If someone is saying that, it's listen. Who is saying that? Who is saying that? I've never heard that. That's wow. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to try and look into that because that's that I've never heard that one. See, this is why I don't be on the clock app. I don't be on the clock app, and I know that there are idiots out here everywhere, but I don't be on that clock app. That clock app be doing too much sometimes. And people just saying anything. I mean, they say anything on the internet, but it's something about that damn clock app. They got people losing their minds out here. Donna says the pedos and the pedo supporters are saying that like how you're born, okay, from in the womb, it's a real thing. Okay, of course the pedos will say that. So that they can, groom children. Of course they would say that. Yeah, I've never heard of that. Girl, you ain't know? Girl, this is the clock app. Girl, they gotta get rid of this clock app. I really couldn't because I've never heard who is out here doing that. Donna, you be on the clock app. So Donna, I charge Donna to go find this foolishness on the clock app and email it to me. Because I've never seen that. Like again, I don't be on the clock app. I don't have the clock app. I tried to. I was just like, let me try and get an account on the clock app. I was just like, it's too much. It's too much. I'm trying to focus my energy in one place here, YouTube. I don't even be on Instagram like that. I have a Facebook page for Eclectic Tarot. I don't even be over on that. I try to focus everything on here. But yeah, the clock app is a menace. The clock app is a menace. I ain't never heard that. So Donna, you know what you got to go do. What you call it? TikTok? Yeah. So okay, but let's continue, honey, because they out here saying some wild stuff on the clock app.
Again, you are allowing a full-term abortion to a 9-pound fetus that was voted on, cracking its skull and killing it, which is murder when it comes out.
Okay, wait a minute. That's too much right there. That's too much. Who is out here doing this to a full-grown fetus? At that point, you just have to have the baby or give the child up for adoption or whatever. But if you out here doing this to a whole fetus, I have questions. I have questions. I have questions, but yeah, that's way too, yeah. Let me skip that a little bit. Oh yeah, I've seen that they are fighting to make it. So if they're fighting to make this listen, I ain't even getting into that conversation because I'm not trying to drill or drag anybody. I'm not trying to drill or drag anybody. Yeah, let's. That's okay. Yeah, let me keep going. I need to scoop past that because that energetically that was just like, whoo child.
Not paying Starbucks, so that's the point. But you get him in Italy doing his commercials, right? What are they doing over there? Why there? Why can't you just get a sound stage here like when they filmed the moon landing? Yeah, I said it. Okay, anyway.
Okay, Sloan out here talking about the moon landing was faked. She said, go on and get a sound stage like when they did the moon landing. Now, I wasn't there. I wasn't born. Okay, my parents were young when all that was going on. I don't know about the moon landing. I don't know. I've never been to the moon. I see it outside. I just want to know what's on the backside of the moon. That's all I want to know is what's on the backside of the moon. Okay. That's just me. Since we don't get to see the backside of it. I just want to know what's on the backside of the moon. But Sloan said it, not me. So I'm not out here trying to disrespect any astronaut, any astronomer, any other scientists. I didn't say it. Sloan Bella did. Sloan Bella did. Yeah, we not out here doing nothing to no full grown baby. Baby, it's 34 weeks. You having that baby. You gonna have that baby. Buzz Aldridge admitted it. Okay, I gotta go be nosy and dig through some of these Buzz Aldridge files and see what's up. That's what you believe, girl. Okay, you were born in 82. Yeah, I was born in 83. Okay, we're around the same age. Well, listen, I ain't never been to the moon. We can't fly there. We can't get there. But it's a bunch of strange stuff going on with NASA and the defense contractors and all like that. But that's another story. That's for the members in Patreon. That type of conversation is for members in Patreon. When I take y'all on these adventures to snatch y'all edges, we're not gonna get into that here. But Sloan said it, I didn't. Sloan said it, I didn't. But let's continue.
But why can't you just get a studio? Okay, why can't you do that? Right. So they film all of these things. They put these rappers out on set. The rappers, the hip hop artists, the musicians are going to make far more money, okay? Far more money by trafficking in every place they go. Thank you all for the super chats, y'all. That's what Jay-Z, I think, I'm just going to say this. I think it's Bieber. And by going down, I mean maybe off the planet, but I think it's Bieber. Then Jay-Z. Jay-Z needs to be around. He's still running things. This I found fascinating because
I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, if y'all want a rabbit hole, we can do our Patreons and members only rabbit hole. Because I found some information that kind of ties into government stuff and the potential trafficking of people. I found something real interesting. Real interesting. So if y'all want to do that on the members only and Patreon, we can go on down that rabbit hole. Just have y'all Jamaican black castor oil ready for y'all edges, because I saw something that I was just like, oh really, with regards to that. So y'all let me know if y'all want to do that. We can schedule that for this week. Okay. But I do agree with her, right? Remember when Nyla was having some of those like esoteric breakdowns and stuff like that, and like Nyla and I, we were having conversations with you all. Make no mistake about it. Beyonce and Jay, okay, now all this is allegedly, Beyonce and Jay, they are quote unquote the heads, but all this energetically is getting ready to change again. Okay, they are the ones running, because I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if Sky Daddy comes and tells me themselves. Beyonce and Jay, that's not a love marriage. That was a business partnership for power. I'm like, it ain't no way. It just, when I saw it, I was just like, no. Oh, they in love. Look, you got the woman that's on top, and then like one of the men that's on top, because we all know Kanye was trying to copy that energetically with Kim Kardashian. Okay, we're gonna call a spade a spade. Energetically and esoterically, he was trying to copy it. Okay. But that's exactly what that was. I don't care what anyone says. That's what that was. Okay. And make no mistake about it, I have my other thoughts about Jay-Z. I'm not gonna say them here, but and this is just Q saying it, and all this is alleged. But baby, we all know that Aaliyah was removed. I'm just saying, we all know Aaliyah was removed, because I've seen them pictures of Jay-Z trying to get up under Aaliyah. I saw them pictures, okay? So, but we're gonna continue what Sloan was saying. We're gonna continue. What you say? You gonna glue your edges down first? Yeah, gonna glue them down. Sun Ray say pass her the edge glue. Okay. Yeah, the rabbit holes. Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree with that. I agree with that. Hey, Lovejoy. Hey, how you doing, girl? Yeah. I believe, because make no mistake about it, Aaliyah was afraid of flying. Aaliyah was, and that'll be a whole nother rabbit hole breakdown I will have to do, outside of this. But I don't care what nobody say. That was a whole bump off sacrifice, industry sacrifice. It was. Who was the industry sacrifice for? And of course, let me throw on a ledge in there. It was for y'all Queen Bee. It just is what it is. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that, Donna. Journey with Korean said, yes, she was. Argue with your mama about it. Well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. And that they Aaliyah, she wasn't feeling good. They gave her some medication or whatever to calm her down. Aaliyah was, per the article that I saw, Aaliyah was placed on that plane. She wasn't even coherent. Like when you're like drugged up or you're not really in your right mind, she wasn't coherent because she didn't want to get on that plane. She hated flying and her brother wasn't with her and he always traveled with her. So y'all can say what y'all want, argue with your mama. If your mama is a mammy, argue with her, argue with your mammy, or argue with your mother. If she's not a mammy, argue with your mother or argue with your mammy, whichever one it is. But you can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me otherwise. So, right. Allegedly, but for real though. Hey Mel, I'm glad you are here, boo. So yeah, let's continue. Let's continue.
I think it was last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago. I was with Lori Burns, the teen shelter, and we were offering help to girls on the, I'm just going to say, the working prostitute track during Super Bowl, where girls are kidnapped, trafficked, and whatever. And we were with a bunch of Navy SEALs who followed us down the street behind us while we tried to ask girls if they needed help to get off the street, etc. Because Lori does that.
And let me just say something. These events like this, and I'm just speaking from my own perspective. I don't like big crowds. Like you're not going to see me at a concert. You're like going through the airport when the airport is busy is enough. It gives me anxiety. But Sloan is saying, they were trying to help these girls like during the Super Bowl. Make no mistake about it, the Super Bowl, these like Mardi Gras, all these places where people are out here, where it's acceptable to open your mind up, get slizzard, okay, things like that. Make no mistake about it. These are easy trafficking places. Even places like the airport, they're easy places for trafficking. Y'all know, y'all been in the airport and you see the signs, ladies, when you go into the bathroom, it's usually a sign in there saying, if you need some help, we can get you some help. If you feel like your life is, in danger or what. And, part of my anxiety, I never knew what it was when I was younger. Like I said, these crowds, a lot of people, usually when it's crowds and a lot of people like that, somebody is up to no type of good. And I just always had anxiety about it. And, just hearing her say this, these places where you're supposed to be wild, where people are going to come, flock, they're going to travel, over the interstate, things like it doesn't shock me, her saying that. It doesn't shock me. It doesn't shock me. Hey Fuzzy. It doesn't shock me, her saying that, because you know what? Hey, Sora, how you doing? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but that baby was not in her right mind. Okay, on that plane. She was not in her right mind getting on that plane. So, and I'm glad you were. I'm glad you were out here looking, seeing if you saw something, because you have morals and you was gonna call somebody or say something if you saw some foolishness. So I'm glad that you're not a POS. Yeah. Let's continue.
Job. Anyway, after we did that, who did we get a call from? No joke. Suge Knight. Not joking. She did, I did. Okay. And I was on a live thing and his phone number was popping up. Granted, it could be anybody. I get that. But I just heard today that Suge Knight does a telephone talk show from inside a prison. And I'm like, fuck, that's how he got a phone. Well, they all get phones anyway. But yeah, Lori and I both got a call from Suge Knight. Seriously.
This is a problem. Jail in the United States is too comfortable. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. Jail in the United States is too comfortable. Folks out here with phones and everything like that, they got access to all this other foolishness. You are in jail. You need to sit there and think about what you did. Okay? You need to sit there and think about what you did. Not having access to the outside world. So I'm not mad at, when you hear terms like the gulag and stuff like that, you're in jail. You're supposed to have access to your lawyer, decent food, you have your cot and your toilet and access to whatever medical services you need, but you need to sit there. You need to sit there. You need to sit there. Like go read a book. But no, people got tablets. As 504 would say, they got their VTech tablets. They got phones. This is too much. It's supposed to be penance. But anywho, Return to Max said, not according to Side Hen and Nasty Nesto. Listen, not Netflix and Hulu. Who paying for that? Who is paying for that? Child. Anyway, let's continue.
But that's who's running the whole track, okay? The prostitute track. They're running this. This is what's happening. They're running girls. Those girls on the street, very few of them can be independent because you've got hierarchy. And since Bob Saget, I met him at Dr. Drew's. Anyway, I think it should be clear that Bob Saget you remember that night. She remembers I got the call from Suge Knight. I just heard today that, and I don't know if it was really him, but Lori and I both have it on our call logs. But if she's messaging me, she's like, I think Suge Knight's calling me. I'm like, we're two blonde white women in our 50s. And I'm like, he's calling me too. And it was like literally happening right then. But they run people on these tracks. So when you look at a young lady out on the street or a young boy tricking up and down Santa Monica, understand he is under servitude to somebody who you give concert money to or idolize or watch their movies and pay them this exorbitant fee. They're under contract. The low-level pimp that pimps them out has a contact. That contact has numbers and bookies and all the way up into the upper echelons of entertainment. Chris Brown, MC Hammer in his balloon pants. You remember that? MC Hammer? I love that way of dressing. I love like the baggy pants and the like higher waist. Okay, I'm from the 80s. Yeah. Anyhow, Snoop Dogg, Tupac, all of it. It's all about it. We look at it as entertainment, but it's been brought to us in order to traffic to hide to do. So when you start, Trump is orange man bad. He's in the government. Do you think I like him? Bozo Biden, orange man bad. Brill Cream Newsom and fucking Kankles Clinton. Okay, I don't like any of them. I don't care what side you're on. I don't like you. You are not.
Did she say Kankles Clinton? Did she just say Kankles Clinton? She said Clinton got some cankles. This is what I'm telling y'all. Make sure y'all out here taking care of yourself so you won't have no cankles. I don't want you to have no cankles. I don't want you. I don't want Tanjon. I don't want Journey. I don't want Dimples Wimples. I don't Kev Mel. I don't want y'all to have man cankles. I don't want none of y'all to have no cankles. Make sure y'all taking care of yourself. Please do. Get that edema checked out. Okay, because I don't want y'all. She said Clinton cankles. I can't. I can't. Clinton cankles. The Coruscant said, I have arrived at the moment of cankles. Yeah, she said Clinton cankles, baby. Hillary, you need to tell us if you got cankles or not. You got some cankles, girl. Y'all got too much. You got too much money to be out here having cankles. Do you need some diabetic socks? Go on and get them diabetic socks. I know they sell them at CVS. They sell the diabetic socks at CVS. Go on get them cankles, them socks. Oh, child. Oh, Lord. Yes, Coruscant, you have arrived. Yeah, Fifi, she was just dragging. Okay, the drag, the cankles have it. Gone and put a foot. Going to put the foot emoji down there so we can recognize Hillary Clinton's clankles per Sloan Bella. Going to put a foot down there. Put the foot down there, okay, for them cankles. Since we can't just isolate the ankle, going to put a foot down there. Okay, cankle socks. She need to elevate them canks. Thank you. Start. Gonna put the cankles down there. Okay. So yeah, she says, "Oh, child, Andrea got Bill's. Andrea got 4 feet down there. So those are Hillary 2 feet and Bill's 2 feet. I wonder if Bill got cankles too. Sound like warlock warts, baby. I don't know what's happening, but she called out her cankles.
See, why is it we feel we need daddy to rule us through the government? Why do I need to give my taxes 25 times over to some fucking Brill cream or over tanning bed, whatever the hell Orange Man Bad is doing? Why do I need him telling me anything? Why is Bernanke in office telling me how the stock market is going up and down? One man, who the fuck are you? Who are you? Why am I listening to you? Because I was born onto this planet where my parents told me this, that, and the other. And oh, you have to vote. Look at how they got you. You have to vote. Do you have to vote? Does it matter what you say?
Sloan out here coming for the whole establishment, and I'm not mad. Sloan has she coming for the establishment. Listen, I'm not mad. Okay, didn't isn't that supposedly how this country was founded? We was tired of other, they was tired of other people. They was tired of folks telling you what to do. Listen, don't be mad at the feet in the chat, girl. Just be mad that they got cankles. Be mad that they got cankles and be glad that you don't have cankles. Okay? But she really out here coming for the whole establishment. Like, and I'm not mad. When you see the conversations, like I said, I stay on Reddit because I like to read a lot of things. And some people think that like Reddit and like stuff on social media is just like the internet stuff. It's not reality. No, baby, that's reality. That's reality. You're just not in the circles to hear the conversations. But depending on where you are, in this country or the cities that you're in and stuff like that, the conversations about government, big government, and taxes and being taxed to high hell. Looking at you, California, being taxed to high hell, things like that, the different interworkings of things, the super wealthy versus, the non-super. These are real conversations that people are having. And this is why, we're going to see over the next 10, 15 years what happens, because again, the United States is about to have its Uranus and Gemini return. And every time there has been war. There has been war. The United States was in war, but the jumping off war was our war for independence, from Great Britain, and the taxes and the Boston Tea Party, like all this different stuff. These conversations, these are things that, it sounds like she's just ranting and raving. These are actual conversations that people are having. Okay. Not cankles of all colors, multicolored cankles. Not cankles of all colors. But yeah, these are real conversations that people are having. When you go to work, your paycheck gets taxed, and then you go to the store and pay taxes on your groceries with money that's just been taxed. You're paying taxes twice. Okay. If you sell something, you have to pay taxes on something that you sell, even though you pay taxes on the item when you bought the item with your taxed money that was taxed out of your paycheck. I need for you all to understand that. Okay. So this is why, people are just like, they out here in these states without, the state income tax, because the taxation is crazy and it's real. You out here, you work for your money, and then, depending on where you live, that's how much they're going to tax you. And then you got to go around and pay tax on everything else. And understand these are real conversations. Yeah, in the future, we can have a conversation on that. Listen, that they out here, I got some royal family content coming up too. So make no mistake about it. But she ain't lying though. She's not lying. Girl, yeah, it's a mess out here. So all these things are gonna come to, I hope they don't come to a head that points us to war, but baby, we got to see what the next 5 to 20 years look like for us here in the United States. But come on, let's listen to Sloan.
How about we get rid of them like they kicked England out of the Boston Tea Party? Why don't we do that? Can we do that? Are we allowed to do that, or are we under obligation to these captors, which is the government? Are we under obligation to them? I'm just asking. MC Hammer, he's going to make some slip ups. I don't think voting gets rid of them. That's my point. I don't think it does. I just don't understand as an adult. Almost going to get a senior discount. Anyway, I can get my cheeseburgers at $4.15 in the afternoon. I don't eat cheeseburgers, but I could get them at $4.15 in the afternoon with a discount. And tapioca pudding. I've been waiting for this my whole life. Free dessert. That's all I want. My grandma used to get it. That's what I want. Okay. Anyway, at this age, I don't need to listen to the government. And people will say to me, my own family members will say to me, but what about the roads? Okay, if you've been in California, you know these fuckers don't fix the roads, okay? They fix areas of roads.
Let me tell you, living out here in California, it's real interesting. It's real interesting. So, hey Mel, how you doing, sir? I'm glad to see you around. Shout out to Mel. Mel is, donating for the taco tax. I hear you, boo. I hear you. Donating for the taco tax. Go ahead, channel members, and put y'all tacos up. Put y'all tacos up in the chat because it's Tuesday and I need to have something Mexican style today. It's gonna be the shrimp tostada. But thank you so much, Mel, for that. Thank you so much, Mel, for that, my darling. Yes. So let's get to it. Isa says, I can't wait to see the astro chart on those 3 major districts because I have a feeling this will shift. Because I have a feeling this shift we all sense and various movements are lining up again. Yeah. Girl, y'all don't want to have a conversation about where this stuff going. Listen, I live, in Silicon Valley. It's a bunch of different expressways out here. That's just what California do. LA expressways are just like a bowl of noodles. But I live in Silicon Valley. The 101 in Silicon Valley is toe up. The 101 is toe up, and parts of 237 are tore up. Okay, those of you who live in the Bay Area, okay, Silicon Valley, San Jose, Cupertino, even going to San Francisco, going up to Oakland, the 101 is toe up. Okay, and 237 is toe up. So I gotta put that out there. Atlanta roads weren't bad like this. So she got a point. She got a point. Coruscant said, this is hilarious. I'm updating my Facebook status, and every time I say something, Eclectic Tarot says the same thing. Ha ha ha, synchronicity for the win. Because we on it. Those of us who are true spiritual workers and stuff, we on it. We be vibing. We be collaborating in the spiritual, in the energetic. Okay. Of course, I'll know what's up. Silicon Valley in the house. Listen, Silicon Valley, baby. Silicon Valley is a very different animal. I mean, I have a great quality of life here, but it's definitely a different animal here. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. We're neighbors, kind of, in Bellflower. Okay. You in the clouds? You did not miss that traffic? Listen, I don't be out there in the traffic. I don't be in the traffic, but LA traffic is worse. I don't be out there. Actually, Silicon Valley traffic is nothing compared to Atlanta. Atlanta's traffic is terrible, but LA's traffic takes the cake. If you have to drive out of LA, like if you're going to Orange County or down to San Diego, you need to leave LA by like 12:30. No later than 1 o'clock. Or it's gonna take you 2 to 3 hours to get out of the LA metropolitan area on the road. I kid you not. I've never seen anything like that. We were thinking about maybe moving to LA, not with that traffic. It's just not happening. So, Walnut Creek is nice. Yeah, I ain't been up there before, but yeah. So LA is great for all the tacos and the Mexican food, because depending on where you are in LA, is somebody with a cart on every corner, and I'm here for it. But mm-mm, that traffic, no, no, and no. No. I gotta make a new emoji for y'all. I gotta make the "Do I have time for your bullshit" emoji. So I'm gonna make that, and I'm gonna put that in there for y'all. But I ain't got time for that bullshit. I ain't got time for that bullshit. So, hey boo for returning, being a member. Hey boo. Brittany says, damn near every street and freeway in California is towed up, but they worry about everything else. Listen, let me tell you, I was on my way to San Francisco airport. What was it, 2-3 weeks ago? And there was a sign on 101, driving to San Francisco. Yeah, we finna put that extra $1 or something, on the gas tax. I'm like, so you just telling us you screwing us? Oh, okay. So yeah, Operation Leave Silicon Valley is getting ready to commence, because baby, we like it out here, but it's just too expensive for no reason. Not when there's plenty of land and everything like that. But I know that's a different story. But yeah, do you have a membership link? I'm on iPad and have Safari to see the join button. Yeah, let me go on and get that link for you, my darling. Let me go and get the link for you. Oh, let me get the link for you. Or can one of you all, one of you mods, go on and get the link and put it in the chat for our sister over here? I know Mel will be on it. So yeah, Mel or Donna or Journey, one of the mods, can you go on and put the link in there for our dear sister so she can join? Girl, using official Moonstone now. You back. Now you can put up your tacos. Yes, put up your tacos. She says she's on Safari, so she can go through Safari instead of the YouTube app. So it's different that way. So she can go through Safari. The iPad, if she goes through Safari, is gonna act like a computer. So I appreciate that, Tanjon. Yeah, I mean we good, but I don't know if we can get them resources because our household make too much money. Like, not even trying to be funny, but like a lot of resources be like, no, you can't have them resources. Baby, let me tell you, right? If I found someone with some food stamps, I promise I will buy some food stamps. I mean, we're good, and I appreciate that, but like everybody was getting them stimulus checks and stuff like that during the panini. Baby, we ain't get no stimulus checks. We made too much for stimulus checks. Yeah, I was just like, oh, them stimulus checks look nice. And they was like, no, you can't have that. And I was like, oh, okay. Seriously, like not even funny. This isn't like a brag thing or whatever like that. But a lot of the resources, when So let me try and find this for you. Let me get the link right here. Hold on one second. Let me go into YouTube in this other tab, and let me go to my own channel in another YouTube tab. Let me grab it. Let me open this up. Where is my? Let me get the join link. Let me see. Can I have the link? Let me get the link. Now I'm on. No. I just want to. Okay. Go here, and then you should be able to see it on. You should be able to see it here on at the top of my channel. It's gonna say join on the main page. So I'm about to put it in here for you, girl. So yeah, go on and try that. Try that. Um, and work the entire time. Yeah, no, we ain't had no money. We ain't get that. Oh no, you don't worry about distracting me. We're all good. We're all good. You are good, my darling. Uh-huh. This is it right here. This is it. Yep. Once you realize that, then you see the game for real. This is why I want you all to get y'all money, use y'all magic to get y'all money, whatever it is, and save up your money or do whatever. So you ain't got to be out here toiling hard and everything like that. Okay? You're not late, boo. You right on time. Thanks everyone. But yeah, let's continue. But she's not wrong. She's not wrong when you're having these conversations about things. Like when you really wake up and see the game.
California is too vast. So let's ask a better question. If my tax money is going to go to government to fix the roads, I have no problem. I have no problem with Vietnam vets or any vet who's been of service in this country. They need to be taken care of first. You push these poor people out under the guise of giving them an education, which means nothing. I mean, they already know how to read and write. But see, we teach people that are impoverished or in poverty, it's a mentality. You can get Section 8. My bitch about Section 8. What is this? Here's my bitch about Section 8. I'm trying to move around. I don't have a 650 credit score, but they accept Section 8. I'm willing to offer you money every month that I work for and don't take from taxpayers, but you won't take me. But you say on your thing, Section 8 accepted. And I'm talking in like just regular suburban neighborhoods. Section 8. Why? Every single border person from China, Afghanistan, wherever the hell they're coming from, because it ain't Mexico now, wherever they're being dropped off, and Bozo Biden.
Did she say border jumper? She said border jumper. She said border jumper. Shout out to Lovejoy. Lovejoy became a new member. I'm glad that you have joined us over here in our family, in our community. Welcome to the Moonstones. To the Moonstones. We have our, esoteric discussions, our behind the scenes stuff. I think we have a good time over here, and I hope that you enjoy your new membership over here. So make sure that you all welcome Lovejoy to the Moonstone family. But did she just say border jumper? She just said border jumper. She just said anything. She just said anything. She went on a rampage. She just said any damn thing. Okay, let's go.
Government, they need places to house them. So the government has told these homeowners with ADUs, here you are. You have an ADU. There's some kind of, at least in California, okay? There's some kind of
now let me say this. Those of you, do you all remember the members only and Patreon stream that we did when I was talking about we were talking about like Project 2025, and then we were talking about the other part, like how they all work in cahoots together, the left and the right, how they all work in cahoots together. We were talking about Project 2025, and then we were talking about I forgot what it was, but the act to the plan to collapse the country from the inside, with the welfare and things like that. This is kind of what she's talking about. I think I don't know if Kevin is still here, if Kevin remembers that. But yeah, y'all remember that stream? This is kind of what she's talking about. I forgot what it's called. I'm going to have to pull it up again. But yeah, when you overload the system, okay? When you overload the system and the system is to the point of collapse, right? Because that's what happened in New York. What was it, back in like the late 70s or whatever it was, like that? That's what happened to New York. That's why New York was a shithole. Okay. Overloading the system to collapse. We see what's happening with the people going to Texas, the people being shipped to New York, you see what's happening with all of that. And then they're housing people, but you have to pay rent, right? They're housing people, but you have to pay rent. And I'm not saying that people don't deserve housing. I'm not saying that at all. But understand, just understand things and think about things, right? Knoxville is a shithole. Listen, I've never wanted to go to New York. Shout out to my New York people. I've never wanted to go there. New York never seemed appealing to me. But yeah, understand what happens when you overload the system, when you collapse the system, any system. You know, if you have 25 tabs open on your laptop, your internet browser is probably going to collapse. Okay. So, right. Right. So, you know, but this is kind of what she's talking about. This is kind of what she's talking about. So, like I said, she came for everybody.
You can't sell your house with your ADU for like 5 years. So they've got guaranteed cash coming from Section 8 illegals. And I mean, you don't know where they're coming from. And that's been a proven thing. Okay. You don't know where they're, of course, the chef was murdered. I'm going to get into that in a second. But you've got them in the Section 8. So am I supposed to understand that these realtors, and I've had it said, I've had them say, can you do Section 8? And I'm like, no, I'd rather die. No, I can't. I don't need it. I'm not going to take it. If you need it, that's one thing, but I'm not going to take it. So too many of the people in this country take shit and don't take responsibility for themselves. Okay, you don't have a right to every taxpayer's money. But here's who really doesn't have a right to it. The government people. How is Nancy Pelosi a billionaire? Get that woman out of office and take Newsom with her. Buy Newsom, take Gascon or Garscon or whatever his name is.
I'm new to California. We've been here, what, 6 months, maybe 7 months. I'm new to California. But baby, I heard that some of y'all Californians don't like Newsom. Is that true? I heard that. Journey Korean going to New York for a singer cow. Okay, for a singer cow. Brittany says she remembered that stream. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. No one likes to talk about that. No one likes to talk about that, Nikki Pope. No one likes to talk about that. This too. I heard they don't like Newsom in California. That's y'all man's. I mean, I just live here. He ain't my man's, but I just live here. Journey with Corinne, my darling, my boo thing, has gifted out 5 channel memberships. So I hope that those of you who win the memberships, if you receive that membership, go on and make sure you give Journey with Corinne her flowers right now, because she is blessing y'all. She is sharing, she is giving, she is blessing y'all. So congratulations to those who have these new memberships. And thank you, Journey with Corinne, for just blessing people. You bless other people, you bless me. You know I love you, girl. So yeah, welcome gifted members. Tanjon says she can't stand Newsom. I wonder if Newsom got cankles. Wait a minute. Tanjon say that Newsom, he was at the Diddy party too. Oh, really? Is he was allegedly at the Diddy party? Well, we're gonna have to find some tea on that. Yeah, I don't like these politicians either. I don't like for the most of them. It's the real Tashi said Newsom and Pelosi are related by marriage, and look up Newsom family history and see who he's connected to. Sloan dropped some bombs. Yeah, she was out here. She was out here dropping the mic. She was pulling edges. She was slaying people. She was slaying people. Oh, he do? Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm new out here to California, but I heard that y'all don't like Newsom. That's what I heard. So, yeah. So let's continue.
Bye. Go. Why do we think that they're doing good? They're not doing good. They can fix the roads. They can help pregnant mothers with the WICS programs. None of us are going to disagree with that. They can do all of that, but they are trying to utterly control us. Literally, my granddaughter asked me why I don't have an electric car. I said, because they're dangerous on the environment. I said, I want the government having control over what I drive. And again, I'm going to say it. the lithium batteries to dispose of.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Let me tell you. They have gotten people with these electric cars. They really have. How do I know? Mr. Hoodoo, okay, does environmental work. Okay, he got all these licenses and certifications and everything like that. He does this type of work. Them lithium batteries, first of all, the country doesn't have the infrastructure for it, number one. And I found out that when you get your electric car, like is that like the electric scooter? When you get your electric car, everybody has a different charge plug. Okay, so Tesla's is different from Rivian's. Rivian's is different from, whoever. The charge plugs are not the same, but those batteries are hella toxic. They're hella toxic. And then on top of that, those batteries are expensive. I've seen people saying they need to replace their electric car batteries for $30,000 and things like that. Okay. You don't have a lot of range on those cars. You don't have, depending on where you're going. And baby, let me tell you, driving from here in Silicon Valley or driving from LA, say like going to Vegas, there aren't any of them electric charging stations like when you're driving out on 15 like that. It's not. There's really no infrastructure except for in these small places. So we don't even really have the infrastructure for it. And make no mistake about it, these companies have sold and pushed, okay, the rest of the world being responsible for the environment on us when it's them and their companies and their factories that did it. They pushed that on us. Okay, so a lot of people have been bamboozled. Okay, but people don't know that about them electric cars. And the government, they're only decent like that because they're subsidizing buying them now. There may come a point when they don't subsidize buying them, and then now I'm not saying that petroleum and all like that is better, but at least you can go to the gas station. Because again, the infrastructure is not in place for them electric cars. It's not. This is not across the country thing. This is like Silicon Valley and a couple of other places in California and scattered, like in Chicago. There are only like a handful of electric car charging places in Chicago. That's not a around the city thing like any gas station is. Make no mistake about it. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Absolutely. Rivian and Ford just joined Tesla's platform. Right. Because all of those charging ports for those cars were different. I didn't know that. It doesn't make any sense. This is a cash grab while they can. I did not know that until Mr. Hoodoo told me that. He was like, "Oh, you didn't know?" I'm like, "No, I don't know. We take gas." But yeah, and Rivian and Ford, Rivian is not having a good time financially. How do I know? Mr. Hoodoo was being Rivian wanted him so bad, but they didn't want to pay no money. Rivian wanted Mr. Hoodoo, but they didn't want to pay no money. So I know Rivian ain't doing too good right now. Rivian is not doing too good as an electric car company, but they got to join the Tesla's platform. Yeah, they need to make all the plugs the same because the plugs are not all the same. So, yep. They had Whole Foods or Targets. Yep. Right. Hey, Energetic Remedies. Yeah, she was talking about that. And then when it gets cold, y'all know what happens when it gets cold. If you have a laptop and it's too cold in the room, your laptop battery gonna start to drain. And you're gonna have to charge it. Catching fire. Oh, you didn't know? Yeah, I didn't know either. But like I said, my husband, he works in this whole environmental type field. Oh yeah, he know a lot of stuff. You love when I say Mr. Hoodoo. Is that my husband? Yes. Because my original name here on YouTube was Hoodoo Queen of Cups. So I just start calling him Mr. Hoodoo. But yeah, so Mr. Hoodoo. Yeah, that's my husband. But yeah, y'all know. He know. He be giving me the inside tea on stuff. I just be like, okay. Their Rivian SUV is fire. Their company ain't doing too good. Their company not doing too good. And baby, they ain't want to pay. Rivian out here drowning. Rivian needs a life raft right now. Mm-hmm. They do look nice though. Their Rivian SUV and their Rivian truck is really nice, but baby, they need some help. They need help. They need help. But like I said, if y'all don't know, if people don't know, then they just get sucked into the we gonna get an electric car. Uh-huh.
Look up what a smelter is, Trail, British Columbia, Kimberley, British Columbia, and look at the damage it does, okay? Look at the damage it does, twice the damage. Okay, Obama, the big idiot, and I'm calling him an idiot, okay? He's in the list of orange man, bad, bozo Biden, and then there's Obama. I went to Occidental College. Okay, whatever. Anyway, the problem with Obama is he sided for climate control. He's the one that said, climate control, we have to watch this. We need to do this. We need to do that. Why did you buy a house 2 feet above sea level? I'm just asking because you said the whole coast was going down. Martha's Vineyard, wherever you bought it. And the only person that was affected by climate change in Obama's vicinity was his chef who drowned, but he's a swimmer. Like he actually has video on his Instagram of himself swimming. Like I don't even have that and I can swim. Okay. He grew up with a pool. I can swim. But how come that dude drowned again with the drowning? What is that? It's so
Listen. Sloan don't like nobody, and I ain't mad at her, but we seen them videos and them pictures of these different people hugged up with these different people, and P Diddy and all these other folks. So listen, I have no allegiance to any of these politicians. I don't. I really don't. But Valerie wants to know. So how can the side hand afford an electric car? I don't know. The side hand got money for everything that she want to have. Money. She ain't got no money for no bond. No, we ain't seen no bond yet. Sanders says, I'm in Houston, so electric cars ain't going to work here until the infrastructure is within the city and in the suburbs. It takes me 30 minutes just to get work in the medical. Yeah. Yeah, the infrastructure is not nationwide. It's really not. It's really not. You'll see them in places where, unless it's like Silicon Valley, like it's here. I've seen like the charging at like the grocery stores in Seattle. When we went to Seattle a couple years ago, I've seen them there, but it's Seattle, right? Seattle is part of the environmental, woo. Here in Silicon Valley, yes, you see it, but I didn't really see it like that in the Atlanta area. You in the Atlanta area, you going to Club QT, okay, and you going to racetrack. Or if you got your Sam's Club or Costco's card, that's where you were going for gas. Club QT, racetrack, okay. When I used to hang out with my friends over there, being a little ratchet over there off Camp Creek, it's a huge racetrack over there off Camp Creek, okay, by the airport, huge one, okay. You going to Club QT, you going to racetrack, or you going to Sam's Club or Costco to get you some gas, or you were going to Kroger if you had a bunch of Kroger points, to get that 10 cent off your gas in the Atlanta area. But the charging stations, that's not it was not a thing in the Atlanta area. Yeah, he's smart. He's smart. He's very accomplished. You thought her electric car was a scooter? I don't know. Yeah, ain't no, yeah, they have them at Whole Foods. They sure do have them at Whole Foods, but you got to go where the Whole Foods is. In the Atlanta area, you on the south side, it wasn't no Whole Foods down there. Wasn't no Whole Foods down there on the south side in the Atlanta area. Whole Foods is, where was it, like off La Vista Road in the Atlanta area, wherever the other Whole Foods were. It was a Whole Foods like in Midtown or whatever. But one of Whole Foods down on the south side, one of Whole Foods. They have my Publix taking up parking spaces, yeah. But it's Publix, right? Publix, everybody ain't going to Publix in the Atlanta area. You gonna go in there for that chicken tender sandwich. You gonna go in there for your chicken tender sub, but people gonna be at Kroger, they're gonna be at Walmart, they're gonna be at, depending on, your income brackets, right? For the most part, we know. Right. BJ's. You talking about Chambly. It was a bunch of Chambly. Yeah, Chambly. Chambly is not near the airport. Down 75 or down 85. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Side hen got the scooter. Yeah. Uh-huh. So yeah, like I said, yeah. But Sloan, she ain't wrong, no. She ain't wrong.
Okay. So annoying. Okay, like, so you turn it, yeah. I mean, the climate change is bullshit. DiCaprio flies around in a jet bigger than 7 of your houses, okay? And then he just eats up and garbles up everything, but he's special. You're not. You're a peon. Know your place, peon. That's what's happening. This is why it's funny that it's happening to Diddy. It's happening to J-Lo. They will never catch traction again. Never, never, never catch traction again, okay? But there is a connection between Diddy and Obama. There's a direct connection right there. So
Sloan coming for J-Lo's edges. We talked about J-Lo yesterday. Side here with the scooter. Sloan coming for J-Lo. So Donna says sign hidden throat can afford her anything. I'm just saying. Donna, go stand in the corner. Donna, go and log out for me, baby. Go and log out and go stand in the corner. Okay? Take Donna's phone. Donna, you go stand in the corner. I'm gonna come touch your shoulder when you can come back and join us, okay? But for right now, go stand in the corner. We gonna have to put 504's wall over here too. You're gonna have to go stand in the corner, go to the wall and stand in the corner. Thank you, boo. Gonna log out for me, baby. I'm gonna tap your shoulder when you can come join us again. But yeah, she out here coming for J-Lo. Because they was talking about J-Lo, This Is Me Now, and how it flopped. They were talking about that. I'm looking at something right now. In a twist, This Is Me Now landed at number 38 on the Billboard 200 current album rankings. Despite the buzz, okay, ain't nobody thinking about her. Okay, New York Post, February 28th, Jennifer Lopez, This Is Me Now comeback album flops. Listen, of course it flopped because Ashanti was busy. Okay, Ashanti wasn't there. But, the Sloan is out here coming for J-Lo and her edges too. But, good. Don't nobody care about J-Lo. I'm talking about J-Lo devastated. I'm talking about she devastated, baby. You should have known it was going to flop from that terrible movie. Well, Sloan came for her, like I said. And, Sloan out here saying, Diddy got a connection to Barack Obama. Listen, like I said, I ain't got no allegiance to none of them. I have no allegiance to any of them. So, it just is what it is. Obama did okay. When will J-Lo give up? It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while for her to give up.
Will be brought in with that. Okay. Something with that's a bull story. That's what Obama said. That's what he said. That's literally what he said. If you're worried about climate change because you're stupid, if you're worried about it, I want to understand why you would buy a house 2 feet above sea level or 400. You aren't buying on a mountaintop. You're buying Martha's Vineyard or whatever the hell it was. Okay, like what? And then the chef drowns. Well, if you look at that chef's Instagram, he has pictures of him swimming. He used
stand
to
in
swim
the corner, Donna. Go stand in the corner.
How does he drown? Highly unlikely. Okay. I don't believe in climate change. The climate changes all the time. Check the records. We all know that there's HARP. Do you not know this? We all know. Vote or die in 2008. Yeah, I'm not voting. We all know that HARP exists. We also know that they cloud seed. That's a thing. Georgia just signed a thing where they're not allowing it. So California, New York, we allow it.
She's calling out HARP. So more governmental, more DOD, more secret. She kind of sliding into what I like to call tinfoil hat lane, right? But and I'm here for the tinfoil hat lane, right? We kind of talked about that. Remember our members only, our Patreon, when I was talking about, the potential for using the holograms and stuff like that, the fake alien invasion and stuff like that. That's tinfoil hat territory. But remember, we were talking about HARP. We were talking about HARP and the DOD and stuff like that, right? On that stream. She this is what she's talking about. This is what she's talking about. Listen, I don't know. I don't know, but she's been irrelevant for a long, long, long time. More like when will Ben give up? When will all of them give up? Lil Wayne called out Harp and they made all his locks fall out. Lil Wayne had one Bobo dread. Lil Wayne ended up having one Bobo dread. I don't know if that Bobo dread has recovered or not yet, but Harp is a thing. Harp is a thing. So it might not just be, it might not just be Diddy sending rats and roaches. A lot of people don't know about this stuff. But yeah, Wayne had one Bobo dread. I don't know if it survived or not, but send that Bobo dread some help. I saw that Bobo dread years ago. I was just like, oh Lord, what's happening? That Bobo dread, it needed something. It needed something. It needed something. J-Lo profiting off of cultural appropriation serves her right to flop. Yeah, ain't nobody studying J-Lo. Half the time I forget these people are alive until they come saying something stupid. So
we're having rain every other day here in LA. That's it. Climate change, there's always been fires. Greta Thunberg, or whatever her name is, the young girl from Sweden or wherever, Norway, wherever she's from, she was 16 and people were listening to her. That's good that you're listening to younger children, but you didn't listen to Amanda Bynes. You didn't listen to Ariana Grande. You didn't listen to Jenny McCarthy or whatever her name is, McCurdy. You didn't listen to them. You didn't listen to every single child that talked about being diddled over at Nickelodeon. You didn't listen to them. No, but you listened to Greta Thunberg or whatever her name is. You listened to her. What she is MK Ultra. She is MK Ultra. All right. She's MK Ultra. That's what she is. So she's been programmed to get that virulent in her speech about something that no 16-year-old on planet Earth gives two shits about. Okay. Greta Thunberg. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it's not her fault. She's born into a family. The family sold her out. She's a puppet. That's why she's up there. First time tonight, I saw Sharon Stone totally under mind control. These people are in a hypnotic or a dissociative state while they're up speaking, and they say stupid shit. They say stupid shit. Okay, so Drake is going to go down eventually.
Okay, listen, we've heard about the MK Ultra. We have heard about that. Hey, Clarence, how you doing? We've heard about the MK Ultra, right? I'm looking into something else, with a very popular. I'm looking into something else with regard to the MK Ultra. I don't know if that's going to be an eventual live stream or not, but I'm looking into the MK Ultra. But we've heard about the MK Ultra. We've heard about the mind control. We've heard about these things, right? Right. We've seen these things. We've heard about these things. Sunray says she can't wait for Drake to go down. I don't know what's going on with Aubrey. Y'all know I don't pay attention to people. Ooh, I want some barbecue. I don't know what's going on with Aubrey, but we've heard about the MK Ultra, and she's right. Listen, the whole culture of uh the culture of not listening to children and not protecting children and all this other stuff, like, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. But yeah, the whole MK Ultra thing, we're gonna end up having to stream about that too, because yeah, I was looking into something. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird with regard to the MK Ultra. And that's on an esoteric level as well. Right? It's not just, you're not out here mind controlling people for no reason, right? So yeah. Empress Kia, you listen from the clouds, baby. Well, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you are here. Yeah, this MK Ultra stuff. Listen, when we have our next members in Patreon, just be prepared for your wig to be pulled all the way back.
Drake should go down. Okay, Drake, like, first of all, okay. Justin Bieber's parents allowed Diddy to babysit him. Like, I'm so desperate that I need my son to be famous. I'm going to give my child over to a obvious pedophile. What was he, like 40? You are the worst kind of human being, P. Diddy. And I don't care how much money you make me.
Listen, we talked about it. We talked about it. We talked about it. Parents selling their children or forcing their children into the industry and everything like that, and not providing them with a stable childhood and all like that. I don't have children, but I see a lot of these, like, it's always interesting to see, like, these child actors, what happens to them. These child musicians, what happens to them? Do they make it out? Okay, do they make it out? It's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. So, and shame on these parents. Shame on these parents. Like, I'm not even mad at, like, some of the child actors themselves that was just like, nah, I'm about to go to high school. I'm about to have a normal childhood, and they remove themselves from the equation. But and you see it, we've seen it before, like these weird, the weird child pageants and stuff like that. That shit is weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. They sell it as career development. Career development is like classes, you know, when you're in high school, you're a senior and you getting ready to go to college. That you can get some career development then. That's when you can get some career development. You a freshman in college, get you some career development then. Not at 8, not at 10. Okay, selling these children out. It's disgusting. Hey, Flora. It's disgusting.
Well, you fuck kids, number one.
Oh. She came out the gate with it. She came out the gate with it. I ain't say it. She did. And she said it with her full chest. Y'all heard her? She said it with her full chest. She said it with her full chest. Yeah, El Boogie says because people are breeding because they refuse to be responsible and use protection. And most children are oops babies, not planned and brought into healthy environments. I agree. But she just said that with her whole chest.
Two, Usher's mother literally said, well, Diddy said that he would mentor my son. Are you fucking retarded? Like, are you brain damaged? Are you that incapable? And now you want to sue Diddy? Nah, you don't get to sue.
We were just talking. We were just talking, right? We were just talking about that. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Like, you're not looking into this mentorship. You're not seeing if any, you're not. That's a grown man. That's not like. Flora says people think just because they can, they should, and the two don't correlate. Absolutely. Just because you can don't mean that you should. And it's it's pretty disgusting. And I fully agree.
Usher should sue you because you were his mother. So Usher needs to sue your dumbass. Okay, you don't get to sue Diddy. You took a payoff. You took a payoff. No, lady, you don't get it. Your son should fucking bankrupt you. Your son should bankrupt you. You don't get to sue Diddy. You did that because, someone from Diddy's family came by like the mafia every week and handed you, here's your envelope. Here's your envelope. Here it is, right here. And you turned a blind eye because you're a money whore. That's why. You turned a blind eye. I'm sorry, it's true. I mean, I'm sorry she did that. Maybe she didn't have the education to know any better. I don't know what she is, but she pimped her kid out. Honey Boo Boo, little Honey Boo Boo, pimped out, and her poor sister died of cancer. Okay, I don't see as much sympathy for the sister dying of cancer at 30 or 22 or 28. I can't keep it all straight. Forgive me if I'm off on numbers and I say people's names back. badly or wrong. I don't mean to, but when you look at them, Honey Boo Boo just found out that her mother.
And that's a whole word right there, Flora. That is a whole word. I said that before. I said that to my husband, I think like last year. Like it was a revelation to me. And it was just like people have children so that their kids can take care of them when they get older. Not necessarily because they want a family or things like that. They're literally looking at them as their meal ticket and please take care of me when I get older. I literally see it. And I'm just like, I literally thought that last year. It was an epiphany to me. Because again, I don't have children. But this is what really some people are doing. So they have someone to take care of them when they get older. That does not guarantee you care. It does not guarantee you care. Okay, especially if you were POS parent. It doesn't guarantee you care. But yeah, I see that a lot. I see that a lot, Donna. I'm sorry, did I say Flora? I see that a lot, Donna. Absolutely. Oh yeah, she's spilling the tea. Mm-hmm. She's spilling the tea. Oh yeah, Honey Boo Boo. That poor child. Yep, they're there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, Social Mara side eye. Yeah, yeah, it's wild. It's wild out here. Uh-huh.
Took all of that money that girl made. You just pimped your kid out, Mama June. You're self-entitled, self-indulgent, placating, self-soothing fucking agitator to your kid. That's what you are. It's just like, what are you doing? What do you do? They're selling their kids for money. I mean, that's the, she went to, I heard it on somewhere, it's probably TikTok. She went to get her Coogan account, which was from Jackie Coogan, Uncle Fester. Uncle Fester started it because he was completely fucking robbed. Gary Coleman was robbed and murdered. I mean, I'm sorry, he fell down the stairs. His big 6 foot tall wife, he fell down the stairs. Sure. Little Gary Coleman that everybody passed around with his kidney disease. His parents robbed him first, then he married a lunatic. He had no money. What is he going to do for a living after he's been on? Yes, Diddy's part of the profanity. Wow, and profanity. Yes, I say the word fuck. Do you think I'm uneducated because of that, or does it make me less spiritual? Grow up. I'm going to speak the way I want to speak. This is the way I speak in my home. This is the way I speak in front of my children. This is how I raise my children. I'm not going to speak differently. And if you think that you can distract from what I'm saying, which is these men that you idolize and want to have sex with yourself and have kids with, diddle children, abuse children, traffic people and children, and drugs, and drug your kids, and launder money. If you think I don't get to say the word fuck, you're out of your mind. Why don't you go after the real people, the ones that are abusing children and trafficking? Put your mind.
Go ahead and rub your edges. Rub your edges because listen, just go ahead and rub your edges because she is not playing with anybody. And she's so right because people are they're just doing whatever. And it's really sad. You know, she just said, you know, these people, these celebrities that y'all want to sleep with. Listen, the way that people, you know, just give celebs that's doing all this crazy shit a pass because oh he fine or oh she look good or oh you know I'll hit that or whatever. Something's wrong with y'all. Something's wrong with y'all. Something's wrong with y'all. Donna says like Beyonce's mother is the biggest pimp, so it's Justin Bieber's mother, but people try to make them seem like angels. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. People be out here lusting for him and everything like that. Uh-huh. You said hell no. Hell no. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, your wig is crooked after that. Your wig is crooked. You gotta go and get your gorilla snot, lay your edges back down, rub them gently, rub them gently, and readjust your wig. Okay, readjust your toupee if you a man wearing one. But yeah, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. People give these people passes because they have money or because they like the work that they did or whatever like that. And it's wrong. It's wrong. She is going in. She is going in. She gives me the creeps too. Yeah, it's idol worship. It's idol worship. And these were some of these same people, on Cadbury Rabbit Chicken Egg Day the other day. Out here, praise God, praise the Lord, amen. Yes, hallelujah. And these are some of the same people that's gonna turn around and idol these worships. And they be out here windmilling for these people. And I'm just like, something is wrong with y'all. You doing a protein treatment? You gonna do that protein treatment. Yeah, I need to do one too. Sherry Pittman says she didn't lie. Do you know how many Christians I knew that said they would give it up to R. Kelly, and I would tell them he don't want you, he wants your daughter, and they thought it was funny? Yeah, they're disgusting. They're disgusting. Journey with Korean said none of these parents protected their children, and the ones that tried got booted out. Yep. Big. Yeah. It's disgusting, and I fully believe you. Talking about, oh, they fine. Yeah. Now people may look good. I have eyes. I see delectable specimens walking around in Hollywood, but you look real quick and then that's it. You look real quick and that's it. Mm-hmm. Girl, that ain't about getting them men to act right. That's about amassing this money and this fortune. That's not about getting the men to act right. That's about amassing fortunes. Okay. That girl, that ain't about the men. They ain't about that. Mm-hmm. Oh no, Clarence. I'm so sorry to hear you're not feeling good.
Okay, trafficking kids. Interesting, they want to take down TikTok, but I don't see our government saying anything about trafficking. Orange Man Bad says that shit about trafficking. Or Roseanne Barr, too. Roseanne Barr said she sold herself out at 12. She said that. She said her dissociative personality disorder, she said dissociative, she had different multiple personalities. She feels like that's because she sold herself out. Now she's going in the opposite direction and she's entitled to do that. She's entitled to change her mind. God will always accept you when you ask for forgiveness, and maybe she's done that. But that's
Amen. Listen, some true repentance and some true asking for forgiveness does wonders. Okay, I've seen people get out of curses and stuff like that because they truly repented and were truly sorry for what they did. And that's when they say saving grace, that's it right there. But let me come on over here. Miss Anonymous said Beyonce's name means beyond others. That's saying something. Listen. Donna says the celebrities are out here selling their children's bodies. And Tanjon just came to snatch edges too. She said, I figure out why Christianity and the church always criticize people who are seers, because you can see straight through their demonic ass. That's right. Just like Voldemammy. Okay. Voldemammy didn't care about nothing until I read on her. I see she was still mad. She was still mad. Let me show you what she was mad at. Let me show y'all. She was mad. She was mad. Voldemammy was mad. Listen, I'm here for people who are true to it. But Voldemammy was mad. She was mad. Voldemammy was mad. And listen, I get it. I get it. Voldemammy was mad. She was. Cause honey, when you can see right through it, when you can see through it, this is why Voldemammy was mad. This is why Voldemammy was mad. Hey, 504. This is why Voldemammy was mad. This is exactly why. Okay. 504 say, wait, who was mad? Cradle Cap. Cradle Cap was mad. Cradle Cap was mad. This is why she was mad. You're not fooling no one. You're not fooling no one. But that's why. That's why she was mad. It's okay. It's okay, girl. We know. We know. You can't fool me with the Amen, Jesus, yes, man. All of you can't fool me with that. You can't fool me. You can fool them other people, but you can't fool me. But yeah, that's why they really be mad when you can see through all they bullshit. This is why they be mad. But let's go on and continue with Let's go on and continue with Sister Sloan over here dragging people by their knuckles. She's still working hard around the scene. Texas Toy said I stepped in at the right time. You know, I gotta give the praise to who it goes to. Lilith. Lilith's revenge. Lilith isn't here right now, but Lilith started calling her Voldemammy. Lilith's revenge started calling her Voldemammy. So I just picked that one up. Lilith's revenge started calling her Voldemammy. That's not on me. That's on our boo Lilith's revenge. That ain't me. And then, 504 with the Cradle Cap. But Voldemammy Cradle Cap. CVC. Voldemammy, Cradle Cap Voldemammy. Cradle Volda Cap. She was mad. And she was. Listen, they over there falling for it. They falling for it. 504, don't choke on your candy, boo. But Voldemammy was mad. She was like, they even got the tarot reader over there. Because I see through all that bullshit and the Maybelline that you don't wear. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So now y'all notice she be over there like trying to be sexy, right? Because I said people should take care of themselves. But nonetheless, let's continue with Sister Sloan.
People get so upset by the word fuck. Really? You think polite people are good? Do you? Okay. Good. All right. Whatever. Yeah, I don't care. I do not care. Okay. So I'm going to speak the way I want to speak because guess what? It's my life.
Yes, L Boogie. Lilith's revenge called her Voldemammy like Voldemort. She said the one who should not be named. That's all Lilith's revenge. 504, make sure you breathing over there, girl.
People should learn. They should learn to shut the fuck up. But stop saying the swearing. Anyway, the point is, Usher's mom sold him to Diddy. That's what that's called. Why are you allowed to hand your child over to an adult man in the music industry? And because they use the word mentor, you're like, yeah, that's normal. No, it's not. Steven Tyler getting custody of his girlfriend. Where the fuck were her parents? Where were that girl's parents? They're not parents. Why would Steven Tyler have the right to have custody of my daughter? I'm sorry, I'm confused. And then force her to have an abortion while trying to burn her apartment down while he locked her up and traveled on tour. And she was just a baby girl and didn't know any better. I mean, what is that? What is that? I'm curious.
This what your homie from Aerosmith doing? Because I ain't know nothing about that. This what your homie from Aerosmith doing? Ooh, child. Right, custody like he adopted her from the pet shelter. Okay, Journey over here drilling. Okay. This is exactly why these parents need to be arrested. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, I see y'all about to see 504 is here and got y'all cutting up now. So I see all y'all gonna be over in the corner with 504. But yeah, Sloan, she came to drill. I don't know if she knew it, but she came to drill. Her and Spirit came to drill.
I'm curious why that's a thing. Okay. And Elvis and Priscilla, like, what are you doing? I know they're all pedophiles. The reason Elvis could not, the reason Elvis could not get his dick hard was because he was on 700 different medications, but he also liked the kiddie porn because once they do that shit, it gets into them. Okay. It gets into.
Wait a minute. So per Sloan, Elvis needed some of that liquid V. Elvis needed some of Nesto's Liquid V per Sloan. Okay. And also because he was disgusting and out here watching those lewd, harmful acts against children. This is per Sloan. I ain't saying it. Marvin Gaye needs to be on the drill list too. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, we know Elvis. We know he was one of them people too. I did hear about your homie from Aerosmith, Steve Tyler. I heard about him too. I think I read something about that like recently, like within the last 6 months to a year. But I don't pay attention to none of these people. Mm-hmm. What I heard. Yeah, Elvis. Mm-hmm. Elvis was a creep. Elvis had a crew in Germany looking out for girls. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew about Elvis. I knew about that. I'm just like, this is disgusting. Listen, it's a bunch of people out here that's just out here living life wrong. Out here living life wrong. Jerry Lewis, he was another one. Mm-hmm. Journey with Korean said it would be easier to make a list of the celebs that weren't on this BS. Yeah, absolutely, it would. It would. It really would because it's weird out here. But when you say things, they be like, "Oh, you just hating." No, we just know what's up, and you can't fool us with this celeb worship. Yeah, it's insane. But this is what she was saying. Like Sloan was saying when we were reviewing it yesterday. Sloan was saying that like for the most part, messing with children is part of the fabric of society. It really is. It really is part of the fabric of society. This is why you see these passport bros out here. You see the passport bros out here trying to go to these countries for these, they be out here like, yeah, you 45, gonna get you an 18-year-old. What? She's 17, she 18, and you 50. This is okay because this is why this is part of the fabric of society. This is part of the fabric of society. But she's just calling it out. L Boogie says Marvin Gaye. Oh my God. This is disgusting. We talked about that in the reading. We talked about that in the latest reading. Remember, Donna? We talked about this in the latest reading on Diddy, the one that I did. It was like last week or the week before. We talked about that. We talked about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's wrong. It's disgusting. It's sick. But let's continue.
So Elvis was no better. Madeline Soto is a perfect example. Madeline Soto's mother is a complete, hideous, evil bitch. I do not care if she's a victim. I will say it again. If you are a mother of children, it is your job, whether you've been victimized, whether you want to sleep with a pedophile, whatever it is you want to do, at the very least, you have an obligation to protect your own child. You got one job. Like, you can go do whatever you want to do with your man, but that's your job. So you failed and your daughter's dead and you're lying. Isaac Cappy, I ended up in court for 3 years over that shit. Isaac Cappy. He forced himself off a bridge. No, he didn't. Okay? No, he didn't. That poor little girl turned 13 and her fucking evil mother. I don't even know if he did it or she did it, to tell you the truth. I'm very confused. And no one helped her. She said she was suicidal and she wanted to run away from home. But that is typical of the whiners all over the internet that go, you need to be careful. It is your children that get abused, molested, and the patterns continue to happen because you don't have the guts to speak up in your own family. But you want to come out here and tell people that are telling the truth about pedophiles to shut up. You need to deal with your own family. You have an issue. Anyway, literally, Drake's another one. Underage kid.
She said, make sure that you're checking the pedophiles in your family. Before y'all start windmilling for these, celebrities, go on and check on the pedophiles in your family. Make sure you check them. Check the pedophiles in your family. Mm-hmm. Before you, but before y'all start windmilling for these celebrities, check the pedos in your family. Check the pedos in your family. Because they're trash. They're trash. They're trash. That's why. I'm surprised Drew Barrymore got out. She's somewhat normal. She's she's a little strange. I think she's a Pisces like me, but I'm surprised because I remember her being in the movie Firestarter. She had a young, she's an actor from childhood. I'm surprised she got out. I don't know if there's anything behind that, but yeah. Yeah, they sick. So yeah, before you come windmilling for these celebrities, make sure you check the pedos in your family. That's where most of it starts. Yeah, nothing wrong with strange. I'm a little strange too. Right. LaWanna Dean said Donna because they profit lying. So she making sure y'all call out the pedos in y'all family.
Isn't it funny to you? They all are like going for underage kids. What is that about? So when you're looking at Diddy, understand what Diddy
#passport bros, but let's continue.
Does. I mean, he might be more gay than not, which is whatever, his own business. No one cares. But you do understand, like Justin Bieber was 15 and that ass was out there being sold all over town. He was 15.
Wait.
I know.
She said that ass was out there being sold. She made it seem like he was throwing that ass in the circle. Listen. She said that ass was out there. And that one made me clutch my pearls right there. It was almost like he was tooting that booty up. That's the way it sounded when she said it. But let's continue.
Okay, so it's no. He was 15. So if anybody goes and protects Diddy now, remember that. He sodomized a 15-year-old, ritualized him, fucked his brain up. It forced him to witness, view things. And now I will tell you a story. So I won't tell you which one of my children, but one of my children worked for the studios and they were backstage at a lot of concerts. U2, Tommy Lee, all of them. Okay. So he was backstage with Bieber. Bieber had tremendous panic attacks and anxiety, and he spent his time at work trying to calm Bieber down behind the scenes. Okay. So, and they're similar age group and all of that. Yeah, I think Usher. So when you understand that these kids are out there and they are being traumatized and the anxiety it caused. Now, here's another thing. Okay, here's another thing. Another very famous actress, singer, told me about the demons following her. That was a client of mine, told me, said they wouldn't stop following her, the entities, whatever, the dead people, the ghosts, demons, whatever. She said they wouldn't. It gave her tremendous panic. So what is happening is these people are being ritualized so much, okay? They are being ritualized that the portals in the body are opening up and they are losing themselves. Britney Spears loses herself and she clicks back in sometimes, you could tell, and then she clicks back out. This is what's happening. This is what they do. So when the kids that are on stage start feeling the anxiety, they're probably Justin has already spoke out. He spoke out about the sodomizing, rape, and murder of a boy that was brought onto the bus by an agent. He said that. It's been scrubbed from the internet. I'm not crazy. I read it. I'm not high. I'm not drunk. That is why I stay sober, so I can remember what I said and what I read.
Remember we were talking about that, though. Remember we were talking about how a lot of stuff is being removed from the internet, being scrubbed from the internet. So when you see things that are interesting, take your screenshot, print it out. Okay, save it to an external hard drive or something else. But you make sure you have your copies because a lot of stuff is being scrubbed from the internet. They're calling it the dead internet. A lot of stuff is being scrubbed, being removed. So when you see stuff and when it's hot like that, go ahead and save it. She does need help. Yeah. So make sure y'all are saving stuff when you see good stuff on the internet.
And what I saw. So when you look at it, Bieber said that. That's when they put him in that Hillsong church. That's when TMZ tracked him down. That's when TMZ said, why don't you want to sing anymore? And Bieber turned around and said, you fucking know why, like that. And then he talked about the bus issue and he wrote an article about it. And then the article was scrubbed and they made him marry Hailey Bieber, or he loved Hailey Bieber. I don't know. He did say that. That is what he said. Al Gore got caught at the Georgia airport in 2000 or 2001 with a briefcase full of blood vials. We now know that that's adrenochrome, but he got caught at the airport with that, just so you know. Okay, he got caught at the airport. I heard it on the news. I'm that old that I watched the news. It's nowhere to be found. They call it false. They call it this, that. It wasn't false. Well, the news said it, so it could be false. But that's what they do. They have areas. Demons are directed at people. If you're of the light, they will send the demons. They will kill your family, take your kids, do all kinds of things. The more you pray, the more they come after you. James Franco is another one. Now he's gay, I guess, for Andy Cohen. I guess. I don't know. Is he though? Is he? I used to go to.
I've seen with regard to James Franco. I have seen some of that stuff on Al Gore's internet. You know, James Franco and his alleged affinities for certain things. I have seen that. I'm just like, but James Franco plays, you know, people who play like creep or like psycho or something like that, like very, very easily, they scare me. Not scare me, but it's just like I'm looking at you sideways, because if this is easy for you, if you are doing this that well, something is wrong. Something is wrong. I've seen that about James Franco. What? Yeah. I saw that too. I don't know about these blood vials. I got a lot of stuff to go looking into. But yeah, I've seen that about James Franco. I've seen that. I have seen that, like, you suspect, boo. You trash too. Mm-hmm.
Meetings when I would pitch shows, and I was in that world trying to pitch and get a show on, like Roseanne's. Not like hers, but something that was pertaining to my own life that was written anyway. You would go into those meetings and the men, the network executives, suits, beautifully dressed, perfectly coiffed, friendly, pictures of their wives on the desks. And I could not figure out why I could not get a reading from them. Okay. Could not figure it out. Drove me crazy. I could not hook into the energy. Okay. Could not hook into the energy. So I thought they were all closet cases. That's what I thought. They're all ritualists. So they're all there doing rituals behind the scenes. Okay.
But remember I said that though. Remember I was saying that, like, with some like going into like the Diddy stuff and stuff like that. It's rare for me not to be able to pull and get into the energy. Remember I was saying, like, in some of these, you know, readings on these celebs and stuff like that, like I kind of feel like I'm being blocked. Like it's like blocks. Like, you know, remember I said that. I said this is what she's talking about. This is what she's talking about. Because it's the only other time like I was not able to kind of connect with certain questions with a client, and I don't know if she's still here or not. I'm not going to say her name. Was we were talking about this particular client asked about extraterrestrials, right? I'm not saying her name, but I saw her in the chat today. And I couldn't pull a read on it because extraterrestrials, for the most part, just in the name, what the name means, not of Earth, I couldn't pull into it. So that would make sense. I couldn't pull on the energy about that. I even saw the one psychic chick on the show I used to watch say, you know, the extraterrestrials didn't want her to look into things too. But remember I said that, like, I kind of feel like I can feel like it's just been like a few people, like, okay, something is kind of blocking. You can kind of see like the shade. I could feel the shade of like the blockage not coming, you know. Sloan just said the same thing. She couldn't hook in too because this is what these people are doing. Yep. So I can tell. So I feel exactly what she's saying, because it's that it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen.
How do you protect yourself? In the name of Jesus, amen. That's why they mock Christians. That's what Diana Ross. What do you think? You think she just popped up there like that? Do you think she just popped up there? I doubt it. She can sing though. I like Diana Ross, but still, Jamie Foxx. It seems like he's been taken out. I mean, I don't. They're stealing consciousness. That's the thing. I've seen that. I've seen the conscious stealing, and I've known that. Yeah, Marina Abramovic is, when they talk about spirit cooking, what they're talking about in the occult, it sounds insane. Okay, that's why they released it. John Podesta. Where the fuck is John Podesta? Anyway, John Podesta and his spirit cooking letters, and I'd love to see you and Tony Podesta. Go look up their artwork. I did. I saw it. I got it. I got it on disc tapes and deposit boxes all over the city. Anyway, when you're talking about spirit cooking,
girl,
so
you were talking about adrenochrome, Brittany. You haven't heard of it since the 90s? Oh, I hear about the adrenochrome. I hear about it. El Boogie says her doctor said, don't put an organ donor on your ID. Baby, I took that off my ID years ago. Because let me tell you, I'm not gonna tell my blood type. But baby, the way that the Red Cross used to call me and beg and beg and beg and beg and beg, I took that off my ID. Ain't no more organ donor. It's not. But the adrenochrome, that's conversations. We're gonna have to get into these conversations. Coruscant says, I'm still here listening, and Jesus, Sloan is dragging. Oh my God. She dragging people for filth. Dragging them by their nose hairs.
Inanimate object. So like this cleaner, this is whatever, computer cleaner, an inanimate object. Okay. So what they do is they embody an entity. So they want to call in an entity to help them achieve their goals, much like a genie in a lamp that they call in for their own greed. They call the genies and the gens in, and they call them in, but they're greedy. They want them to do work for them. Same with an entity, spirit cooking. That's why they take shit, fetal matter, hair, breast milk, whatever, because these are all things that we carry in our body, right? We carry this. This is a practice that goes on. If you go to occult stores, you will see candles that say, invoke this one for money and do that. They've got everybody doing it, okay? They got everybody doing it. But that is what spirit cooking is. Putting a consciousness from the other side, the astral level, into an inanimate object.
Now, let me say this. You can work with all types of spirits and everything. You work with all types of spirits, okay? And yes, there is from different magical practices where you can house spirits in a container. Okay, you can house spirits in a container in an inanimate object just for a little while. That is something that can be done. I don't do it. I'm not even advanced enough for that yet. And I'm not trying to house no spirit in no container. But make no mistake about it, okay? Because when we're talking about even like King Solomon, like in the Bible and stuff like that, had them spirits in that container of brass. That's what she's talking about. Housing a spirit, that way you call the spirit forth, the spirit can do your work for you. Because remember, King Solomon was wise. He had them spirits build the temple. The spirits did the work. The spirits did the hard work of building the temple. He controlled them with a ring and all like that. This is what she's talking about. So, you can house spirits in a vessel, in a thing, in an inanimate object. You can do that. Okay, that's higher level magic. Q is not ready for that yet. Q is honest. Q is not ready for that yet. But I do know some magicians that do and have housed, they made pacts with the spirits to be able to house them just for a little bit in some type of object. So this is a thing across various spiritual practices. Okay. And even in Christianity. Now I know Sloan is a Christian. That's just fine. But baby King Solomon was housing them spirits in that vessel. King Solomon was too. So we just gonna call a spade a spade. They're gonna call a spade a spade. Yeah, like a genie. Sun Ray says, like a genie in a bottle. Yes, but it's different because the spirits, they can't exist on this plane, right? Because the third dimension and the other dimensions are better places for those spirits energetically. The third dimension is too dense, right? Which is why, you really don't, it's so hard to like conjure spirits to it's hard to conjure spirits to full apparition. This is why we don't see like a lot of like full body ghost apparitions and stuff like that, because this realm is too dense. Okay, just on the physics part of things, this realm is too dense. This is why you don't really see full body apparitions. It's rare to see full body ghost apparitions. The other realm where they live in, the afterlife, the other realm, the crossroads, whatever you want to call it, it's better for them, right? So again, this is why you don't see full-bodied apparitions. It's rare to see a full-body apparition. You do better hearing, recording ghost sounds and stuff like that. It's they can't exist here. They can't exist here, right? So you may see a shadow or something like that, but just a full body Ghostbusters, like in the Ghostbusters movie, a full-blooded apparition. You're not going to see that here. You're not going to see that here in this third dimension, because this dimension is for us. It's for physical things. Spirits are not physical things, they're energy. So they exist in the other realms. So this is why, when it comes to trying to, this is why a genie like Aladdin, make no mistake about it, the movie Aladdin is about magic. It's about a spirit in this vessel, right? That's why he had to be in the vessel, because that's the realm that he could live in. So when you have a spirit and you offer a vessel as a home, the inside of it is energetically like the realm that they come from. Okay. Again, this is why you don't see full bodied apparitions here in the third dimension. It's rare when you see it. You'll see maybe a shadow, maybe the little face in the window or something like. But full, you don't go around seeing full human ghosts like that every day. You don't see that, or spirits like that every day. But people who can see it, you're seeing it in your mind's eye. But they're not just out here they can't exist here. Right. It takes too much energy for them to keep their full bodies here. Right. Because it's too dense here. It's too much work here. It's too much work here. So this is why, you'll call the spirit, you'll talk to the spirit. They can hear you. They can hear. This is why, for those of you who have family members who have died and passed on, they come to you what? In your dreams, because the dream state is the astral realm. Okay, the dream state is not physical. This is why your grandmama or your brother or whoever it is comes to you in your dreams, because that's the astral state. The dream world is not the third dimension. Okay? So make no mistake about it. The Disney movie Aladdin is pretty much magic. It's magic. It's housing a spirit, and some of the most volatile ones, because jinns are very volatile. But the movie Aladdin from Disney is about occult magic. It just is what it is. Okay? But yeah, make no mistake about it. Solomon from the Bible, okay, he housed the Goetia, right? He housed the Goetia, also known as, demons from the Bible. He housed them in that bronze container. He housed them in there and directed them to do work. To do what? To build the temple. Okay? So, when people come telling you like all about, no, 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 no. When they come telling you that foolishness, make sure you refer them back to, okay, Solomon was working with them spirits. Okay? Yeah, it's too dense for spirits to just full on be here. You can, your invitation, say your prayer to them. It's too dense here. It's too dense for here. But this is why your ancestors and other spirits that talk to you, a lot of times they talk to you when you are what? Sleep, because that's the astral realm, the other side, the other dimensions. Okay. I just want to make sure everyone is clear. Okay. Truth hiding in plain sight. This is why I say when you know, you know. I'm out here educating y'all. But yeah.
Okay. And allowing that energy to grow by feeding it energy like a battery, and then keeping it energetically bound and having it do work for you. Okay.
Okay. So Fifi just said something. I do hear about people housing spirits in cabinets, bottles. Yeah, when you're housing them and stuff, right? Because the bottle is similar to the bronze vessel from King Solomon and them. It's the same thing. This is why when it comes to this type of work, you better have your authority and everything like that, because if you don't want to be locked away in some cabinet, you don't want to be locked away in the bathroom, you don't want to be locked away in the apartment, you don't want to be locked away in that. That's why these are the people who are having issues with spirits, because the spirits don't want to be captured and locked away either, unless you're making that agreement with them. But a lot of times people will, because you do have authority, a lot of times people will, be mean to spirits and talk to them any type of way. And then once the agreement is over with, they might tear you up. Okay, but locking them and keeping them away, no, we don't do that. We don't do that. But yeah, no, you're onto something there. Sanders says, I'm new to this beyond the Christian realm, and it was always spooky for me. I am listening and learning not to be so ignorant about it. Yeah, don't be ignorant, baby. Do not be ignorant. So, like I say, when people are saying, like, oh, these people were they're doing this, like witches and all like that. What wasn't their spirit turning water into wine? That's alchemy. That's magic. Okay, King Solomon with the magical tools, the magical ring, everything like that to keep them spirits housed in that bronze container. So the spirits do the work for them. Remember, I told you all on Patreon, you can do the work, you can work smart or you can work hard. King Solomon wasn't out there laying no bricks. He had them spirits do the work to build the temple. Q likes to work smart and not hard. This is why I do work with spirits, because they can get things done a lot quicker and better than you can. Okay. But make no mistake about it, this is the same thing. So I don't want to hear people talking about, oh, this in the Bible and you this and that and the third, because the Bible is full of seers, astrologists, and magicians all the time. Okay. I mean, it was the truth, right? It was the truth. So, but yeah, let's continue. But yeah, them people out there in Hollywood, they doing some weird, stuff. But if you know, you know.
Wherever it shows up. Remember, the entities on the other side, so demons, angels, whatever you want to call them, they don't like to be in the human body. They don't like to be in the human body. And you know when somebody is evil, when all they focus on is money. You have to make a living on this planet. It's the currency. I get it. But you know that they're evil when that's their do all, end all. And when somebody like Oprah and The Rock goes to Hawaii and says, we're going to give $10 million to one person. Listen to the wording. Oprah, you have $250 billion. You can fix every one of those houses. By the way, The Rock, you can go to Haiti and you can feed those countries, but you keep your money. I'm curious, why are you keeping why? Then what they say.
She said a whole word right here. She said a whole word right here. 504. Go to the corner. Go to the corner. Go to the corner, 504. But yeah, Donna asks, why don't spirits work on that level anymore? Because the thing about it was King Solomon was controlling them. That was not like an agreement. It was like slavery. When King Solomon did that, that was like slavery. That was forced labor. Okay. We're not forcing any spirits to do anything. We ask them nicely. You form a relationship, right? Because Donna be out here doing her thing. But that having them forced to build that temple, that was forced labor. That was slavery. Spirits don't like forced labor, slavery, just like you don't. Okay. So this is why we don't do that, Donna. We don't do that. We don't do that. We do have authority on earth. And she says with slavery, that authority was removed. That's why who we are was stripped from us. Well, I mean, I got my authority. So I got mine. 504 gets in trouble everywhere. She does, and I love her for it. Me and 504 were cutting up earlier at our lovely sister Real Talk Bougie's channel. Me and 504 were cutting up earlier, so I love it. I love it. Yeah, laying hands in the church. Why you touching me? You pass energy. Your hands are, it's a reason why, when you holding hands with someone, your hands get warm. Not just because it's human to human contact. Your hands are energy centers. Just like your genitals, just like your solar plexus, just like your third eye. Your hands are energy centers. Okay? Power coming out of your hands. So laying hands on people, what are you giving to me? What are you trying to take from me? What are you transferring to me? I don't like that either. Keep your hands to your damn self. Mm-hmm. 504 is Smart Day. Yep. Yep. But yeah. So yeah, let's continue. Oh, back to what Sloan was saying. Notice how they have all these celebrity concerts. We have a celebrity concert to raise money for Haiti. We have this concert for this. We have this concert for that. All these people can just take a little bit of money and just give, right? But they have these concerts where you finna come buy tickets. Okay. Same thing with like Kroger and the different grocery stores and all like that. They ask you for your change when you leave in the grocery store to give to whoever it is, right? Baby, it's a tax off. It's a tax write-off. It's a tax write-off. They are here asking you for your money, right? When they have the money to do it. You have to think about things. You have to think about things. Right? This is exactly what she's saying. They ask you for such and such. Yes, I'm raising money for. Why you got to raise money? The rest of us out here raising money. We out here raising money for the little league, so these kids can go to the baseball camp and all like that. But you don't have to raise money. They're raising our money when this is what they're asking. This is what they're asking you for. This is what they're asking you for. This is what she's saying. So when you these people when they're greed and stuff, like you got $10 billion for real. Let me see what y'all talk about over here. Sherry say, don't touch your neighbor. I don't do touch your neighbor, hug your neighbor, don't touch me. Yeah, don't touch me. Tag team event. Yeah, we tag team over there earlier. We tag team over there earlier. We had to drag Dre a little bit. Mr. Cal. There were people I did not want to touch. It did not feel good. Not understand why. Yeah, everybody's energy ain't for you. Okay. Cecil Morris says, like when I do Reiki, my hands get warm from the energy. Right, because your hands are energy centers, just like your genitals, just like your solar plexus, just like your root chakra. Your hands are energy centers, right? So this whole laying of the hands, that's what that is. You can't allow any stylus in your head either. Nope. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they ask you to donate money, but they won't. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. So Sloan out here, that's why they be sending rats and roaches to her, because she out here dragging everybody. You say 504. I said something right. See, I just listening like Nesto. 504, you so silly. I don't like people touching me, their energy be off. Yep. Toilet flushing sound. Starry eye go stand in the corner. If y'all were on Real Talk Bougies earlier, she had that toilet flushing sound going, and I was screaming. I could barely get through my 20-minute workout because she had that running toilet in the background, and it was killing me. But let's continue.
I cannot think of his name. The old guy that drives the old car. Oh my God. He has 2 wives. Oh my God. He's really, really rich. Anyway, he's like, I'm not going to leave any money to my kids. So like the Kardashians, what the hell is his name? Warren Buffett. Oh my God. Anyway, he says, I'm not going to leave anything. I'm going to leave it to charity. What they mean by that is they're going to pay back the graft. They don't really own their money. The Kardashians don't really own it. They might own 10 million, and it's more than you and I have, but they don't really own the billions. That's a lie. This is how they set us up. It's a lie. That's why they don't have the money they have. That's why they do the shit that they do. That's what they do. That's what's happening. So it's like really weird. Okay, Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. I don't know what to say about those two. I've never liked Jennifer Aniston. Not personal, I just don't like her. Her chin bothers me. That's just an observation. Yeah, trust funds, but they're all lies because
is Sloan out here hating on Jennifer Aniston's chin. She don't like that woman's chin. She said Jennifer Aniston's chin bothers me. Well, I get it. I get it. Jennifer Aniston's chin bothers you. The side chicken's ponytail bothers us. It just is what it is. She out here chin checking folks. Y'all see what I did there? She out here chin checking folks. But let's continue. She said she don't like that woman chin.
MC Hammer, the dealing and trafficking and distribution of substance. That's what I'm saying. The dealing and trafficking and distribution of substance. Understand, all of these people in the production end of music, I don't care what the music is, but they tend to target the Black community in hip hop and in rap. So because it's considered to be rebellious, but it's not when you have every Black teenager from the hood thinking they want to be from the hood when they're from the suburbs. And then you have my white kids trying to be like that too. It's like, it's obviously marketing and it's working really well. But you have to understand what they're doing is they're really using their platform to sing, to build an energy to a certain space, and then have that energy infiltrate certain groups of people. So for somebody like your grandmother, Frank Sinatra may be the tone of music that she will frequent. So they can control that group of people that like that kind of music through that frequency. Same with the kids. They can control them through Nicki Minaj, Mary J. Blige, Salt and Pepper, whoever back in the day. But that's what's going to Houston. That's what's going on.
Make sure y'all understand the magic, that goes into music. Make sure you all understand. 504 says, I'm gonna get me a stylist. My twist outs be having me looking like Samuel Jackson in Pulp Fiction. Which one of y'all put that curse on me? Girl, it wasn't me. Girl, go and talk to Nyla. Nyla gonna get you hooked up. She said MC Hammer allegedly, is part of that trafficking group. Alleged. So, alleged. Like Ben Affleck's face? It's a bunch of people that I just don't, but it's not necessarily wrong when you see someone and their energy, you just don't like them. It's because you don't like their energy. Sometimes energies don't mesh well together, and that's okay. It's not that you are a terrible person, but when you meet someone for the first time and you don't like them, it's because you don't like their energy. Your natural energies don't mix, and that's fine. That's okay. He believed Nikki was a huge part of stage one to normalize. Listen, all I'm gonna say is, and I'm not talking about Nikki, but this 5 to 10 years, the way that horror culture is just like they out here talking about horrors are winning. Something is going on. Something is going on. So, but yeah, understand the frequency and energy of music. Understand it.
Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight, whatever they do, Notorious B.I.G. That's what they do. They put these people out there to create music from that frequency, and they know it's going to hook you in. Now, somebody like me who's like completely like fuck the government big time, anarchist, never listening to anybody, I'm going to be like a person that likes political music and Queen and fuck the government and do this and that. That's going to be what I like, right? So they're going to catch my energy by doing that. And then once they catch my energy, they can mold my thinking based on the frequency they use through the music. 50 Cent going to go down too. 50 Cent controlled opposition, okay? Control. And the Ryan Garcia, I heard a quote somewhere that Ryan Garcia said they were trying to put the entity that Mike Tyson had in him into. Listen,
understand, listen. Remember when R. Kelly was calling himself the Pied Piper? What was the Pied Piper? Leading them children away with what? Music? Control. Make sure you all understand the energies and the frequencies and the power of music. Because it's people out here, singing, what's that song? What is it SZA? I just unalive my ex. Not a good idea. The music is on point. The music is good, but you out here, we just be out here singing things. So make sure that we understand the energy and the power behind these things, the frequency, the control. Once you get in and it loosens you up and everything, make sure you understand that. Make sure you understand that. Okay. 504 says they hate me at work. I think it's because they're mad. My energy is amazing. It can break me. Yeah. People who I have a client, I have a client like this 504, and you're onto something. I have a client that people just be coming for her all the time, right? But it's because she is free and you can't tell her anything. You can't control her. They don't like people that they can't control. So anarchists, the people who are rebels, the people who break the rules, just like that movie Divergent, when they can't control you, when they can't put you in a group, when they can't put you in a box, right? They don't like that. You spell trouble. Okay? Mhm. Yeah, this is a mess. Uh-huh. This is why we can't be out here trying to take up for R. Kelly. Voldemammy. Because this man out here calling himself the Pied Piper, leading children away. Like, do people not know what that is? Do people do leading children away? Okay, sure. El Boogie says a man who used to work for one of these prominent record companies wrote a letter about a meeting that took place with the CEOs, execs of the company. In the meeting, these execs said they'd invested. Yeah, and the Pied Piper was a very dark fairy tale. Okay, she said they invested in private prisons and they want the employees to push rap music to help them fill the prisons and capitalize on the. Yeah, but you know what? Starry Eyes said I love the Divergent series. Remember, she couldn't be controlled. She saw through like the BS of like the training and stuff like that. She would just wake up. She couldn't be controlled, right? She didn't. She wasn't going into her group. She's asking these questions. When you can't be controlled, when you see the what's up, when you see things for what they are, they don't like it. I saw that the railbird. I saw that. Naturally, Niata out here like why he controlled opposition. Yeah, it does happen. I've heard people call 50 the ops before. I've heard that before. I've heard that before. Hmm. Yeah, and most fairy tales are very, very dark. Uh-huh. Tanjon said anyone caping for R. Kelly about to suffer with alopecia and bed bugs, baby. I mean, if it is, that's just what they get.
Kanye West does not look like himself. Into Ryan Garcia. So Mike Tyson, Ryan Garcia. So when you look at it, okay, when you look at Kanye, does he look normal? And why? I'm just curious. I'm so curious as a woman, okay? As a woman, as a former stripper, sex worker, I'm really fucking curious why nobody thinks it's wrong for his new wife, can't say her name, Bianca Santori. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, why is he doing that? Like, is it not mockery? He is literally walking around covered from head to toe while the woman is out on the street at, okay, you just said her name, Bianca Sensori. I don't even know if it's Bianca, but that poor woman is out there. Like, I want to go blink if you need help. Like, I'll come get you. She's being sexually abused. She's being abused on every level. And she is out there, like, literally half naked. So ask yourself, why does he do that? He's got merchandise. He's trafficking his merchandise. Look at the pretty flowers in my store window. Look at the pretty girl in my car. Okay. That's what they do with their kids. That's why their kids are out there. That's what they do. Okay. It's a form of advertising through cataloging. The cataloging is up front and it's in current time because we are, That's what we're doing. Mockery marketing. Exactly. Kanye's wife. And look at Kim. Balenciaga. I mean, I can't. My eyes are twitching. Like, look, my eyes twitching. I start twitching. Understand what they do to you. Understand with Chadwick, whatever his last name is, what you just mentioned, and how he died of that cancer. Like Steve Jobs, once the demon gets in you, and I'm being dead serious, the energy, okay, look at it as an energy. You know, when you're a little kid and you're like excited for Christmas or excited for holiday or Easter break or whatever, summer break, and you bike and you're like, oh my God, I can't sleep, I'm so excited. The demons come into our energy field, and Bozeman, thank you. And like Steve Jobs, they put the thoughts in your head and you do stupid shit. Steve Jobs literally had pancreatic cancer and only ate fruit. Does that sound logical to you? Pancreatic cancer is like a form of diabetic problem with the pancreas. So why the hell are you eating fruit all day long? And by starving yourself, you're thinking what? They're killing off the energy. That's what they're doing. It's what they do. You know how you starve? Well, let's use rats as example. So rats live in boxes, and the boxes that the rats live in have the stuff that the rats like. Yummy rat food. So the rats have that, and what do? They eat the food, then they starve to death because if they drink the water, they blow up. So we blow them up. This is what they're doing to these people. This is what they do. If you think for 1 minute that Bill Gates created Microsoft, which he states he didn't. So who did, yeah, they ate my car, exactly. So who did they get and steal that software from? What did they do? And the computer is stealing our consciousness. And did you hear, oh my freaking God, did you hear in New York City about the guy that is hitting women in the face because they're using their phones? I don't care if they're using their phones. I don't care if they're using their phones. Who are you to put your hands on somebody? I've got the peppermint stuff everywhere. They're siphoning energy. I know it's very evil. It's more evil. Ooh, that's a weird out there. It's very evil. You have no idea. I was 7 years old when my mother told me they take kids and do snuff films. I learned it then. 7, okay? 7. I learned by 10 that men would give me money if I showed them what was in my shorts or lifted my top up.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. 504 says, baby corporate America can't stand my ass. It's always the passive aggressive black woman coming from my livelihood, hiding behind their fake Christianity like infamous Cisco. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. When you not there to share with them, they be mad. Mm-hmm. Yep. Like Shirley Temple. Yep. Yep. Okay, let me try and see if we can get through the rest of this. It's like 20 minutes.
True story. Because they said, here's money. I have been flashed. I mean, as a child, what is that? Why is this happening? What is going on? It's not just me. It had nothing to do with you where you grew up. It's happening everywhere. Happening everywhere. So ask yourself why we are idolizing people who think it's okay to do what they're doing with children. Why is it okay for Bill Clinton and Naomi Campbell to fly over to John of God, who we know had a baby broking farm? Why is it okay? And why are these women getting pregnant at age 50? Why? I'm just curious, because so many people can't get pregnant at 38, but they can get pregnant at 50 because that's normal. I feel badly for Cardi B. She's in a very toxic relationship. I think she needs to be freed. Cardi B, if you need help, let's think of a safe word. So, I mean, you almost got hit. Yeah, what is that? What is going on? So do we need to conceal and carry? And the next time a man comes up and puts his hands on you, you just fucking annihilate him? I don't know what they expect. And do you understand what hotels are? So when you have somebody like P. Diddy and his crew of producers traveling around producing somebody like Mary J. Blige back in the day, and they're going from city to city or town to town or country to country, wherever the hell they're doing their concerts, Ariana Grande, Led Zeppelin, traveling all around. Trafficking all around is the word, not just traveling, trafficking. They can sell and do anything. Bohemian Grove is where they go to play their little games, just like you send your kids to college and university and they have fraternity week. Why are you paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for your kids to learn in school so they can do hijinks in a fraternity? Just curious. Just asking. But Cardi B is one of them too. She is one of them. You're not going to get there. You're just not going to get there. So that's what we're seeing with P. Diddy. But ask yourself, when they throw P. Diddy over here, what do they not want us to see over here? It's political. That's why that bridge burned down. The elections are coming up. They are going to fuck with us, okay? Because they so don't want Trump in there that they think, no, but see, I don't care who you like or dislike in the politics. Do you understand that you have the right to vote for whoever you want? And do you understand that they're twisting everything and fucking with everything? So let's throw every single current politician out of office right now. Let's take back our democracy, our freedom of speech and everything, and get rid of the P. Diddy's, get rid of that Kensington Palace and those fucking people. Get rid of it. Get rid of them. Stop letting your kids go to these movies. My kid watched SpongeBob SquarePants, right? All the time. I hated Barney the dinosaur. I love you. You love me. I want to slap the crap out of someone. I'm like, no, don't turn that shit on. But my kid watched that. That shouldn't even be a thing. Why is that a thing for children? Okay. Mike Pence. I don't know about Mike Pence. I don't like Mike Pence. I don't know what to say. But when you're looking at it, why is that? Freddie Mercury was sold out. He definitely sold out. You could tell he did everything. His music, I love, I'm not going to lie. But when he talks about his stuff, he talks about being transgendered. So he's pushing the agenda. And then he talks about, the Chinese and hiding. And you can find it in everybody's music. They're singing what they're told to sing in order to gear our heads in a particular way. Every TV show you watch is out there so that you can be directed at how you're going to experience things. What I find tremendously interesting is Charlie Sheen can be on TV and make more money than you at your 9 to 5 at your grocery store, wherever you do it, where you really work hard. And he can hire Brian Peck to come work for him after he's gotten out of jail for pedophilia. And then that fucking network, and every single one of those show people okayed it. Every single one said, yeah, let's give a paycheck to that guy. Yeah, tiger's blood, that was adrenochrome. I finally figured it out. Adrenochrome, whatever. I finally figured it out. That's what it was. Anyway, I'm going to do some pre-film videos this week. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know who I'm going to do them on.
Okay, let's see if she got anything else to say.
I need to do why? When I get to be 60, Harry is MK Ultra. They're all MK Ultra.
Who MK Ultra? Let's see
that. But what is going to happen? So I feel he is in the mix right now because I heard it while I was running. So
let's get to this.
Michael Jackson. Because about 6 months before Michael Jackson died, I was running and I heard Michael Jackson's going to die. So Jason, I think, was 14 or 13. Anyway, he had a group of kids over there. These kids remember that. He was having a sleepover and I walked in the house. I'm like, Michael Jackson's going to die. I think I said he'll be 51 or it's when he turns 51. So it was right around his 51st birthday. But I had heard it. So I was running the other day and so I heard Michael Jackson again. Right. And I heard the quote that he said about Tommy Mottola, where he's like, Tommy Mottola is the devil. Whatever he said that at the Grammys. Tommy Mottola, that's one you haven't heard. That guy can't hide. I heard that. Okay. So something is going to come out about him. I don't know what it is because I literally lost like the idea of what it was. But I heard Tommy Mottola is the devil. And I remember Michael Jackson saying that. So I heard Michael Jackson's name first and then this. So I know they're directing me that Tommy Mottola is going to be brought into something. Now, maybe he's not as popular as he was. Maybe, I don't know. I don't even pay attention to that. But what is going to happen? So I feel he is in the mix right now because I heard it while I was running. So that's like a wild card in the bunch of all of this. So, yeah. What is sex magic? Well, it's magic using your body's energy fluid to trick other people. Tony Mottola. You the devil, bitch.
Well, damn. She just coming for everybody. She just coming for everybody. Yeah, Patreon. Yeah. I'm about to end this so we can kind of start this Patreon live real quick. Yeah. Let me try and go back through this. Don't eat the work potlucks. Ew. I don't feel bad for Cardi either. See, I didn't do the work potlucks. Nope. I couldn't stand Barney either. I hated that. Yep, they want you to. I don't do that. Yeah. I don't know. She flaming. Yeah, she's out here roasting. Mariah said Tommy Mottola wasn't shit. She sure did say that. Okay, let me just get through a couple more minutes and then I'm gonna end this. Because Sloan came for everybody.
I just was thinking of Michael Jackson and I literally was cracking up. Like I'm running and I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. Why am I even thinking this? That's how it comes through. So that's what I was getting. And I'm like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Mariah Carey is MK Ultra. They're all MK Ultra. They're MK Ultra. Okay. They're MK Ultra. That's just it. They do not act normal because they are not normal because they have had some sort of alterations to the way that their brain frequency works. So they're in some sort of a dissociative hypnosis state using triggers. Now, Hitler practiced this in World War II, so it's not unheard of that it happens.
Right.
There's a lawsuit in Canada for the MK Ultra for the kids that were in the psych ward in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. That is happening in Quebec, Montreal, Ottawa, all over there. They experimented on those kids like Hitler did because they let a bunch of those Nazis into America and Canada under the government.
Yep, that's facts. They let them in Project Paperclip after World War II. Keep going.
Of dead people's names in order to practice medicine on you.
Yep, that's true too. They were giving people these identities and stuff. Werner von Braun and all the rest of them. Yep, she ain't lying. That's true.
Yeah. So that's what's going on. I don't know. Doja Cat obviously sold out. I mean, it just seems like, yes, snowing is fly. I don't even know what that means. Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon. I mean, it's kind of obvious. And the fact that those green lighting network suits, so everybody at the Nickelodeon higher echelon, you people need to go to jail too. You need to go to jail because you knew what Dan Schneider was doing. But as long as your bitch ass wife had a fucking vacation in Italy, a manicure, and a Mercedes, and your kids went to private school while you mocked normal people working 9 to 5, you were fine with Dan Schneider diddling kids, taking pictures along with Disney and Bryan Singer, who they fucking know is a pedophile and continue to hire him because he makes money. Is that the reason? Or is there another reason? Is it because they're like he is? Why do they keep hiring the same commercial directors over and over again to do commercials on stupid food products and shit, beer and shit? Are they in the club? Ooh, I hear somebody out there. Did you guys hear that? Ooh, so is he in the club? What's going on, right? So it's interesting. Look at Hugh Hefner. He fucked dogs like his girl.
Oh, flag on the play. Not the animals. What? The animals? Oh my goodness. Okay. Child, I'm flabbergasted.
Saying that is what he did. So now I want you all to take your Playboys and set fire to them. I have a collector Playboy in there that somebody sent me. But I mean, seriously? Red Shoe Club. Macaulay Culkin said it. Oh, but he's crazy. We can't believe Macaulay Culkin. Oh, no.
Macaulay Culkin, that poor child. I think he and I are like around the same age. But didn't he have like a drinking problem or a drug problem or something like that? That child was tired and used, and you could see it.
We can't believe Macaulay Culkin when he tells you when he's 12 that he's in a network executive's office. See, here's the thing. They are so demonic. And by demonic, I mean possessed by the need to consume and control, that they have to have something that nobody else has. That's what they're doing. And the only way they can feel something is by causing the utmost pain. Henry Winkler, Heather O'Rourke, I can never say her name, poor little girl. Henry Winkler, Henry Winkler, Henry Winkler, Henry Winkler, okay? Henry Winkler, Heather O'Rourke, Steven Spielberg, Johnny Carson. Okay? Seriously. I'm twitching again. Now I'm twitching. I get so agitated. So when you look at these people, go back and look at the old Tonight Show with Johnny Carson going to Drew Barrymore. You know, you look like a nice little girl. Ew, back it up, brother. Oh, can I say hi to Steven? So do you see what Steven Spielberg did? So Steven Spielberg has a harem of underage women around him and his adopted daughter who's a sex worker because, and I can say this, when you end up in the sex industry, you've most likely been molested as a child. So anyway, Steven Spielberg's adopted daughter is a sex worker. She says it herself. She has an OnlyFans. Charlie Sheen's ex-wife supports her sex working daughter because that's what we do. We do it publicly. We support our kids, but when they actually do that, do we do that? You know, I mean, come on. So anyway, Steven Spielberg's daughter, she's that. So Spielberg had the young girls and was the godfather to Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore comes from the Barrymore family, and they're all in on it. They're born into it. I'm serious. Go look at that interview. I'm not making that up.
One thing I want to remark is that understand, like, I don't know if you all have noticed, especially ladies, like for a lot of women, like starting out in Hollywood and stuff like that, they rise to fame quickly, but what are they doing? They have some nude scene or some lewd illicit sex scene, right? That's sexual trauma. That's it's sexual degeneracy, you know, to have to sell yourself like that to, right? Mm-hmm. And like I noticed that, like, but it's not, you know, you don't see it like that as far as like the men's side or whatever. But notice, like in Hollywood, it's all these they want the full frontals or the frontals of women. You don't really see like dingling like in Hollywood, like movies and stuff like that, but you sure see the nakedness of women, right? It's abuse of women and children too. But just notice that. Notice that. And that's why I love Sister Girl Angela Bassett, because she was like, no, my body is for my husband. Okay, she ain't doing all that. Okay, so make sure we're seeing these.
If you think that sounds.
Let me see something else over here. 504, right, says, I love learning new things. Thank you, big AQ, not the little one. Someone let the money spirit out the bottle so I can get my coins up. Ha ha ha. Girl, go to my video. My video called Jupiter is Direct. Let's get this money. It's from January. There's an herb recipe for money drawn in that video. You can work with that and go and get your money up some more. So, well, I share the wealth over here. But thank you so much for that 504. I appreciate you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gross. That's gross. Hey, Mr. Cal. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Y'all so silly. Yeah, it's sex work. Yep. From the Barrymore family. Yep. Mm-hmm. Hey, mixtress Monica, but it's the truth though. A lot of times you see it from women, from girls. You see these, you see these quote unquote sex scenes, right? Where it's, you might see his cheeks or whatever, but it's rare. It's rare to see male frontal nudity when it comes to Hollywood, unless you're watching prawn, right? And even like with the prawn industry is about male pleasure, right? The prawn industry is not for women. It's about male pleasure, right? All these disgusting, degrading things to women. They have these categories, barely legal and all foolishness like that. Understand what this is. Understand what this is. Yeah. Male bodies are more protected in Hollywood. How many of y'all in these music videos do we see like men being the video hoe, being the video vixen? Vixen refers to woman, right? It's not the men. Okay. Male bodies are protected. Just overall. Make sure we understand what we're looking at, right? So make sure that we understand the energetics of things. Understand it. Women's bodies are not protected. It's not. Okay, like I said, especially like in prawn and stuff like that, the you know, be degrading herself for whatever money she making in prawn with 3 and 4 and 5 men. She got 2 eggplants in one hand, 1 eggplant in her mouth, 1 eggplant in her pussy, 1 egg. Understand the energetics of all of this. Okay, understand. Yeah, she can be very childlike at sometimes, and you can see that with her. Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, we're almost done.
I mean, he's talking to her and it seems above board, but she's like, "Can I say hi to Steven?" That's what Steven said to me. She's fucking 5. Okay. I don't care if she's bisexual, she's 5. And she's been traumatized through this, but also understand that they feel like their lifestyle is normal. So their lifestyle to them is like you being Catholic or you being Buddhist or you being Jewish or whatever it is you are, Muslim. To them, their lifestyle of the abuse of children seems normal to them. Yeah. Craziness, right? Crazy. Crazy. I don't know what all these little symbols are. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to say this. I'm not opening my readings right now. Y'all have text questions. I'm like crazy. Give me 2 days to answer.
So yeah, that's probably the end of the video. That's probably the end. And we just went through. We went through. Yeah, that was a lot. Right. Exactly. Exactly 504. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. This is the question right here. How can a 5-year-old? Right. But yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. And Sloan Bella Sloan Bella came for everybody edges, everybody in Hollywood who is a degenerate, everyone in the world who is a degenerate. She came snatching everyone's edges. Yo head is without hair. She snatched off everyone's eyebrows, their nose hairs, their mustaches, their goatees. If you had hair in your ears, she snatched it off. She scalped people from the scalp. Sloan Bella she came to drill. I don't know if she purposely came to drill, but she was drilling. She was drilling. She was drilling. So, and she was drilling, yeah. And this right here is the truth. This right here is the truth. Mixtress Monica, that's okay, boo. I'm glad I see your pretty face here right now. Yeah, she a hellful Everybody net. We're gonna be getting started soon. I need to call my husband real quick. I need to call my husband and play kissy face with him real quick. Not play, but I need to talk to my husband real quick, and then we're gonna be getting started. I'm going to put the link in Patreon. So let me give me about 15, 20. Let me call my husband, see how he's doing up there in New York. Poor baby got rained on today in New York. So he gonna be sick, Lord. And then we're gonna get started on that. Okay. Sloan Bella does not play. Nigerian edge snatches. Y'all know them African braiders that you get your hair braided and child, your hair don't grow back there no more. Sloan Bella came from everybody like them braiders. No crumbs. She ate. She pretty much ethered Hollywood. And all these people who do this shit, she pretty much ethered them. She did. And I'm glad that she did, because people don't like to say it. And they would tell people all the time, make sure that you all understand that when the powers that be and all these other people tell you, money doesn't make you happy, they don't want you to get money because they don't want you to be free, right? Because this is the world that we live in. We need money. But it's not money the root is of all evil, because we need money, right? We have to work with it. This is the world that we live in. Greed is the root of all evil. Greed has people selling their mothers, selling their children, selling their family members. Greed has these people lying to you, scamming you. Greed has these corporations buying all the houses so you don't have any place to rent. This is greed. Greed, the love of money, is what's wrong. That's what's evil. But having money, no. The greed is what's doing things. It's the greed. It's the greed. And, we're going to see if the capitalistic system goes down or not. Just speaking esoterically, right? But greed, the excessive greed does these things to the planet. It's the greed. It's greed. It's not money, because it's the world that we live in. Unfortunately, we need money to go buy groceries and pay the light bill. But the greed, the excessive greed, because you really need $20 billion, that's the difference. But understand that when you understand the energetics of everything, when you understand the energetics of everything, then you'll see how a lot of shit is just bullshit, and you understand what's going on. Nigerian edge snatcher. You gotta buy him that Dayquil and NyQuil combination. Yeah, he's in New York right now, so he went to CVS to get something so he can, because he said he got rained on. His coat got rained on, jacket, so he got soaked today in New York. Po child. Hopefully he'll be fine by the time he gets home. But yeah, call her Nasir Sloan, right? Ether, the shit that make your soul burn slow. Yeah, she came for everybody, and I'm here for it. We're having something on Patreon. So if you're on Patreon, you can see the vote that we had. We're about to have a private Patreon session that's just for Patreon. But yeah, full-blown ether. So yeah, that's right. There's not greedy, right? Because we need the money, we need the resources, right? I had to use money to buy them shrimp, because I'm gonna have my shrimp tostadas tonight. It just is what it is. But the excess, it's the excess, right? Mystical says, interesting discussion. Look forward to more. Well, I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that it was interesting to you, and I hope you stick around. Sexual greed is a thing too. Yeah, energy. Yeah. These edge snatcher streams make me happy. I have. Yeah, this one is not. This one is not for members. This one is for Patreon only. This one is a Patreon only, because people join the Patreon for something different than people join the members for. This is part of that. This is part of that. So yeah. All right, y'all. So, but when we have our next edge snatching stream, the edge snatching stream will be for everybody. But this one stream on Patreon is just because people join the Patreon for the magic, right? So this is going to be a magic stream. This is just, but don't say that though, because I gave members and Patreon got the free class on magical timing. What was it, last week or the week before? So members did get that, but this one right here is just for Patreon. The people who come to Patreon to learn the magic, that's where we're going at right now. So those insatiable appetites, yep. So yeah, so I love you all. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. I will be back tomorrow here on YouTube. So make sure you check everything. I'll be back here tomorrow on YouTube. And I don't know if it's too early to announce, but Nyla and I will be streaming together on Saturday. So we'll be over here on my channel. We're going to be streaming together on Saturday. So be ready for that. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with some content. Thank you all for being here. For watching Sloan Bella Rip People's Scalps Off Part 2. Thank you all for being here for that. Patreon people, give me about 20 minutes, and then we're going to start over there on Patreon. And then everyone else, I'm going to see you all tomorrow here on YouTube. We're going to go into something esoterically tomorrow. Somebody's chart or something like that tomorrow. But yeah, just stay tuned for tomorrow. So I love you all. Thank you all for being here. Shout out to the channel Moonstones. Thank you to everyone who donated, gave me something, sub, liked, you here in the stream. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate all of your time. So I love y'all. I'm going to get off of here. Wait. Taz was in here? Hey, Taz. What'd you say? Not if you can help it. Taz, don't do that. Now Taz is late. Who is Sloan Bella? Yeah, she's a she's a channeler. She's a psychic, and she gives her predictions. Sloan Bella had her prediction of what was happening with Diddy. So her prediction about Diddy came true. So we just went through that live stream. So yeah. So yeah. Taz, not if I can help it. I love it. Don't leave me, girl. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. All right. I love y'all. I'm going to see y'all around. I hope you have a stream tonight at some point, Taz, because you've been going in with these Diddy streams, and I have been enjoying. So I hope you do. If not, I'll definitely catch whatever your next stream is too, Taz. But yeah, because that stream last night and the night before, I was just like, ooh, Taz, and like with the live stream on this Diddy stuff, pulling out these old receipts. I love a good old receipt. I love a good old receipt. So Taz be out here with the receipts. I know y'all are subscribed to Taz, but if you are not subscribed to Taz's channels, go join Taz's channels, because Taz be out here. Taz be out here doing the work. So yeah, I love y'all. Drill formation, yes. I love y'all. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.